sometime we'll play for you both. If the Lou Gehrig speech is, it's grainy. Somebody should take the speech and do all the magic they do now with recreating the film.
They will. They'll do that.
They've done it with the movie. So there was one of the best baseball movies is the movie with Teresa Wright and Gary Cooper. Right, Gary Cooper. Right.
I don't know.
No, is it Gary Cooper?
I don't know that one.
Who plays?
I couldn't tell you. Comment below if you have the answer.
Gary Cooper plays Ted Williams. Plays Lou Gehrig. You go, just check it out. Now, I got to tell you, you can't tell the difference between Lou's actual speech and the actor Gary Cooper's speech. You can't tell the difference. It's so good. And of course, in both cases, unless you've seen it maybe 100 times. Now, I saw it again.
We're going to play it right now.
I saw it again a couple of years ago because the husband of somebody who works with me was dying of ALS, and we watched the speech together. And I got to tell you, I'm sorry if you might think less of me, but I just cried my eyes out. I just cried my eyes out watching the speech. And also, here's this kid who was a football player, dying of the same disease. Yeah, play it.
In 2,130 consecutive games, then a fatal disease attacked baseball's Iron Man. In Yankee Stadium, touched to tears.
I'm trying to put it on there, but sorry, guys. I just have a lot going on. I can't.
Appearance.
Do you know how?
The past 2 weeks,
I'm sorry. I just
been
a
reading
lot going
about
on.
bad Greg. Today, I consider myself the luckiest man on the face of the earth. When you look around, wouldn't you consider it privilege to associate yourself with such a fine-looking man as is standing in uniform in this ballpark today? That I might have been given a bad break, but I've got an awful lot to live for. Thank you.
He died just a few months later. Unbelievable. One could make the argument, and Ted and I got into a great discussion of Asani and about the greatest player, and this guy is right up there. As I would have to say. He happened to have been a hero of one of my uncles, so I know all about him. And my uncle was a Dodger fan, but his hero was Lou Gehrig. Can you believe that? And it made it very hard for him because he loved the Yankees, he loved the Dodgers. And he knew everything about Lou Gehrig. He had, as a child, in his room, every single Lou Gehrig article ever written in the old Daily News and I guess the Daily Mirror, and he knew every little fact about him, that he went to Columbia, that his family came from Germany, and unbelievable. So when I went and watched the movie with Gary Cooper, I didn't go with him. I should have. I did, but I talked it over with him afterwards. And I thought he would be very critical of the movie because he was very critical that they were doing a movie because they just wouldn't do it right, and they wouldn't do it. He said the movie was beautiful. So the movie was a beautiful tribute to Lou Gehrig's life. Now, I don't think you say that a lot about sports movies. And I'll tell you, the Babe Ruth movie is very, very good too. William Bendix plays Babe Ruth. Absolutely great movie.
Right. What do you think of some of the more recent baseball movies?
The Gehrig movie, there is no recent movie that is, there's some good ones. There's no recent movie that this is in like heavenly category. Go ahead. What about recent movies?
Moneyball.
Excellent. Most of the baseball movies have been good, not cheap.
Yeah, I'd say Moneyball, Major League. That was
Major
more of a
League
comedy.
was not
Different kind of movie.
Major League was a very good movie. This was a great movie.
Yeah. That's a different type of. Yeah.
This was a great movie with great actors and
We'll have to
great
watch
directors, and probably the most touching moment in sports when he came out there and said, "I'm the luckiest man that ever lived," and here he was dying of ALS, and nobody knew what ALS was then. I mean, he's the reason they do so much research in it.
Right.
Well, I don't know if you're interested in sports or not, but you should. A little bit. It gives you. You see, I have this idea that sports and animals give you a real kind of take on life. Sports is like a microcosm of what we go through all the time, particularly in these wars and conflicts. And it can be the violent sport of football or the somewhat less violent sport of tennis, where it's two people. I believe tennis is like boxing. Now, there's a weird one. Why? Because it's two people. It's that boxer against that boxer, this tennis player against that tennis player, and all of the team around them has to be subsumed within that one person. But they have to have a lot of people training them, helping them, sitting in that corner, whatever. But then it's got to be executed by one person. Now, football, baseball, basketball, what I call soccer, they over there call football. That's a team sport. It's different, very, very different. And it develops very different qualities in you. And I would say both are important. Singular sports teaches you how to stand up for yourself. Team sports teaches you how to work with effectively other people. Okay, so China, which does neither, doesn't work with other people well, nor does it develop terribly wonderful people who they don't kill, has done everything that it can to get the monopoly on rare earth from under our nose. We're going to do a special on this because I want to show you how. And here I do think some of it was non-purposeful. This is not like Biden taking 31 million from the Chinese and then giving them background, which is straight out now treason that should be put ahead of Benedict Arnold in our list of selling out the United States of America. I can think of worse things than what he did with Bagram, but there ain't too many. Bagram was 400 miles from China, right under our nose. He abandoned it. It's being run by the Chinese now. And the base that was so close to them, we could have hit them without their knowing they'd been hit, is gone. And America is in greater jeopardy as a result of that. And it was a decision by one man. His entire military opposed him, although they wouldn't come forward publicly and say that because they're not really Americans. Oh, you want a couple of extras? It was also 400 miles from Iran and 500 miles from Russia. Poof, gave it up. Just rehabilitated. Arguably the best base we had in Asia. When Trump heard about it, he fell off his chair. Never even considered. I think the first time Trump heard about it, he didn't believe it. It never even had been mentioned that we would give up. I mean, it was assumed we keep the air base. When we get an air base in a foreign country, we keep it unless it becomes unnecessary. So it would become unnecessary if China, became Italy, Japan, or Germany after the Second World War. Is China Italy, Japan, or Germany, or is China the country that wants to destroy us, infiltrating us, killed many of us? China is the country that has announced, like Hitler did, and many of our completely asinine professors and don't pay any attention to it, that by 2048 or 9, they want to control the world. And I don't know, if you didn't take Hitler seriously, well, you didn't pay attention to Churchill. If you don't take me and about 1 million other people seriously, you're going to be run by China. You give up an air base 400 miles from China. Okay, We could attribute that, couldn't we, to Biden's monumental stupidity, incredible idiocy, to the point where Gates, who was the in the cabinet with him as Secretary of Defense, said, the man never made a right decision about foreign policy in his entire life. And of course, people giggled and laughed. But I do believe it was literally true. I think I could go through with you, and I'm not, because it would take too long. I think I could go through his foreign policy. I can show you that he made the wrong decisions all the time. One example, he opposed Star Wars. Star Wars just saved a couple of thousand Israeli lives. That's what Iron Dome is. He was opposed to it. Now Canada is begging to be part of our dome. Had the monumental idiocy of Joe Biden prevailed, there'd never be anything to talk about. Beyond that, though, beyond being stupid, was he also a traitor? Here are the facts, right? Bagram, 400 miles from China. No reason to give it up. No reason. We were totally in control of what we kept and what we gave up. For 4 years, Trump got the place under control. Not a single, for the last year or two, not a single American was killed in Afghanistan. So we had total control of it. The withdrawal should have been under our terms and easy. Instead, he made the mistake of withdrawing the troops before the civilians. I've explained this to 8-year-olds, and they understand that you don't do it that way, just from watching movies or playing war games. Dimwit couldn't figure that out. I don't know the motive for that. So I can't even attribute that to what I'm going to attribute the next thing to. But this one I have no doubt about. Because if this is wrong, then I'm an idiot. He gave up Bagram. We're going to show where it is now, right? Mm-hmm. There it is. Right. Oh, there. Nice big base. Now, 400 miles from there is a great target in China. It's actually terribly close to the place where the Chinese are trying to eliminate all of the Uyghur people. I mean, you could definitely drive from there to where they're conducting genocide against the Uyghur people. Now, why are they conducting genocide against the Uyghur people? Because they're Muslims. On the other hand, you tell me, well, they ally with the Muslim extremists in the Middle East. Well, they do. This is if you don't understand that, you don't get it. Communism is completely amoral. It's all about what's good for communism. They'll ally with anyone to move communism ahead. Now, what's the track record? When they get there, they kill everybody who helped them first. Then they go back and kill their own enemies. It comes. Now that doesn't come so much out of Lenin, and it doesn't come so much out of Marx and Engels. That comes out of Lenin and in practice Stalin. You kill the people who helped you. This is what the Ayatollah did to all the people who helped him get rid of the Shah. He got rid of all the moderates. Now it's just him. So the president wants it back. And he's told the Taliban, I want it back. The Taliban now is refusing. And several Asian countries have come to their defense, including India. And I say that because this is an introduction to India. We haven't talked much about India. First of all, we should get that damn base back. It belongs to us. We paid for it. We did it. And if we have to, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Tucker Carlson, and maybe Vice President Vance. I'm just not an isolationist. I really don't think you are. And I don't think it's possible to be America first and an isolationist we're in a world with people who want to destroy us. If we're America first, don't we have to be able to defend ourselves against them? Don't we have to be able to protect ourselves? And isn't the answer to protecting yourself being so strong that, number one, you'll frighten the living daylights out of them? Footnote 1, Ronald Reagan. And isn't the second that when we have to demonstrate it, we demonstrate it in such shocking way that they never challenge us again? Footnote Colin Powell. So, yeah, it is the answer. And everything else short of it has led to all of the problems we've had in the extended Cold War and this ridiculously extended war with Islamic extremism, where we can't even adequately define our enemy. We're afraid to. We're not going to defeat them until we adequately define them. So I think the president focusing in on getting back Bagram, we just get it back. You think the Taliban is going to refuse us? You know how fast it would take for us to take that back? Our military is getting, they're doing a little good stuff in Colombia, but they must be getting a little itchy under Pete. Pete likes it.
Pete's he's bringing back the warrior ethos, Mayor. So, Pete is raring to go.
Well, and here's my warrior pitch for today. And all of the isolationists, Republican and Democrat, can condemn me. Let's go take Bagram back. Let's tell the government of Afghanistan we're taking it back. Let's tell the animals in the Taliban to get the hell out of there. Who we talk to. And if they don't do it, let's attack them and destroy them. Make sure we don't do too much damage to the airport. Not care about how many of them we eliminate because they don't want to kill us anyway. And take it back. Surround it with troops. Afghanistan will go along with it in a minute. I have a feeling Taliban will too. They don't want to fight us. We're not Russia. We're not going to go in there and take 20%.
Yeah. Or are they waiting for the Trump administration? Are they hoping that a Democrat wins and they might?
Of course, they're hoping that a Democrat
wait us out for 3.5 years.
If a Democrat wins, we'll give up our other bases. And if a Democrat wins, I don't know, we'll send Newsom back to China so we can kiss Xi Jinping ring like he did. I mean, you didn't notice this, but when they brought Xi Jinping to San Francisco, before that, 3 months before, Newsom was there was starting to be a possibility Newsom would be the presidential candidate. So the Democrats sent him to meet Ming because he had to meet the head guy of the Democrat Party.
They really thought it was going to be.
And they had a great meeting, and then he invited him to San Francisco, and he gave him a parade like he was Caesar had just conquered Gaul. Now you got to realize the people who are cheering for him are Chinese. There's nobody alive that has killed more Chinese people than Xi Jinping. Nobody. Now, his numbers don't compare to Mao. They sure as hell compare to the Ayatollah, but they don't compare to Mao. 10,000, 20,000. There had to be people in that audience cheering with phony smiles, whose father was killed by him, whose uncle was killed by him, whose brother was killed by him, whose wife was killed by him. Because those are the people who escaped to San Francisco. Now, is Newsom such a silly, stupid, pretty boy he doesn't know that? Could be. But does he care about it? Absolutely not. Does he have this little bit of morality in him? He does not. But this is outrageous. We are there. Maybe half these people, maybe a quarter of them are Chinese communist spies. Could be. But I bet you the majority of them are not. The majority of them, this is what gets confusing. We get people coming out of China who are escaping. We get people that are coming out of China that want to spy. And if we're not careful, they're going to mix right in. But I will tell you, the vast majority of people from China in this country hate China. A small but very, very dangerous minority work for them. Now, this is I see Ted working away there. I know he's getting. I know what he's doing. We went crazy when this happened. I went nuts when this happened. Absolutely nuts. I mean, this is
what you're seeing now.
This is him coming into
San
Francisco. That was for the first time in 20 years had no homeless people, all of which were returned the next day. I don't know where they put them. They shouldn't put them in Newsom's house.
Well,
there they are coming down Commandant Street. I don't know what the hell that is. Is that? Look at this. Look at this. You got crime going on in San Francisco at that time. It's actually gone down with the new mayor, who's tough, but you got crime going on like crazy, and we got about 50 police cars protecting this murderer.
Let's see if they had any music to go with it.
Let's take it. San Francisco. Well, that's
a little disturbing, unnerving to say the least.
They were hoping that they defeated Trump and they could have a parade like that in Washington.
Right, that's what they were gearing up. This was like the dry run.
Kamala had been asked, "Would you invite Xi Jinping to your inauguration?" The only problem, she said, "Who's he?" Otherwise, he would. I mean, I can't definitively say he was invited, but largely because she did. Word salad didn't know who he was. Oh, there are some Chinese. There's some Chinese that are tall people, and there are other Chinese that are short people. Like Russia is a big country, and Ukraine is a small country. So which kind of Chinese is he? Is he the big Chinese people or the little Chinese people? Kamala, why does that matter? I don't know. I don't know. So that's where they were with her. So I don't know if there would have been it might have taken a little while to acquaint her. You know, like China is, you know how you might have worked with her, Ted?
How's that, man?
China is next to Russia.
Right.
Oh, there's more than one country next to Russia. Yes, Campbell. There are a lot of countries next to Russia. And China's a big country too.
Yeah.
Oh. Russia has small countries and big countries.
and you just wonder, Mayor, if to what degree Kamala. I don't think the Biden crime family really involved Kamala. I don't know that they for a number of reasons, but for one, they didn't want anyone her to loose lips sink ships.
You think they would not descend into negative IQ numbers?
Right. I think even they realize the liability.
Possible. That's possible.
Kamala, by the way. Kamala.
All I can say about Kamala is the following. Thank God she didn't become president. Now, we have a debate going on that we haven't been paying attention to, and I am extraordinarily nervous about. I'll watch it later. I have to tell you, there are a lot of things, a lot of things. I've gone through a lot. A lot of things don't bother me. A lot of things do bother me. I'm not going to tell you the differences because then my enemies will figure out what to torture me about. But I mean, you can do a lot of things to me. It doesn't matter.
Right.
I mean, forget it. You're just wasting your time. But you play with my city. I love New York City. Okay? I love it. I think it was not just under Rudolph Giuliani or Michael Bloomberg, or I'm going back to its history. New York City is the greatest city in the world. It was and should be the capital of the world. And I wanted it to be. I knew it was considered that, but didn't deserve it when I took over. Didn't deserve it because he had a really good chance of being, he had a better chance of being killed in New York than most cities in the world. He had a better chance of being killed in New York by a lot than going to Israel. I changed that. And I changed it with the help of God. I didn't think I could change the whole thing. I started it, and I reduced murder from 2,000 at the height of Dinkins 400 to 600.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, from 5 or 6 or 7 a day to 1 a day. Less than 1 a day, eventually. Bloomberg took it even further with the help of the extraordinary Ray Kelly, the police commissioner. The day Ray Kelly left, down somewhat, even under Lefty Mike, who went lefty. If he hadn't gone lefty, it would have stayed great under Mike completely. But then when de Blasio took over, who went on his honeymoon to Cuba and supported the Sandinistas, then a communist took over, and it was deliberate undercutting of the police, undercutting of their authority, undercutting them to the point of, they believe, getting them killed. They believe de Blasio got them killed by pronouncing, when there was a racial murder in Baltimore and big riots, pronouncing that New York's police department was as racist as Baltimore. Within 10 days of that, a maniac from Baltimore came to New York and shot and killed 2 New York City detectives, assassinated them. There'd be no reason why he'd come to New York. He could have stopped anywhere. The police believed he got their people killed, and when he attempted to come to the funeral and visit the families, wouldn't talk to him. I went to visit both families. Spent a lot of time with both of them. I had, been out of the mayoralty then for a very long time, but I worked with Tunnel to Towers, and police officers turned their backs on him, even when he came to the funeral. And from then on, it was a disaster, and it's a disaster right now. Adams has tried hard to fix things with the police. Adams sometimes will discuss right ideas, not the right character, not the right. You got to look at your party and say, screw you, when they're hurting your city. He looks at the party and goes. And then when he finally did screw you, they screwed him, because they're a crooked party. They have been for 160, 70 years, and they don't change. They're a dishonest political party in most places, not a few, in most places. So what's going on at the debate? Do we have any idea?
That's right. So we are following the debate being hosted by New York One. Right now, maybe we'll do a live.
Which I should tell you is the CNN of New York One is a very, very, if I say very left-wing station, there's no way in which I've conveyed how left-wing it is. It was my determined enemy all the time, and I didn't let him bother me because I got much bigger audiences than they did.
Right. So let's hear, we have former Governor Andrew Cuomo currently speaking. Let's do a quick
I'll begin with the fact, because I count a lot, having been trained by Garth and Ailes on look. That's a good look for him.
Let's play a little bit of this here.
I like the way he looks, and I like the way he's using his hands. They're not like, sometimes he uses his hands in dictatorial ways. That's a very nice, smooth way of explaining. Now, let's see what he's saying.
Talking about basically doubling payroll. And you can have a negative effect where literally businesses close and people lose their jobs. And overall, again, it's another tax on corporations, another reason to leave New York, another reason to pack up the family and get on I-95 and go to South Carolina and Florida and Texas. All right.
Candidates, we are coming down the home stretch. I want to alert our media partners, especially, we're going to go over by 5 minutes, and
Sounds like
we're
us.
going to have
Yeah.
Brian lead a conversation about
Soccer
transit.
time.
Right, and we're going to have to do this very briefly.
Uh-oh, Brian Lear is there. He's one of the hosts.
They're not as sharp as we are to come up with.
Mr. Cuomo, you say the city
This
should
guy's a
take
lefty.
partial control of
I
New
believe
York
that's
City
Brian
Transit
Lear of
away from
NPR.
the
Who is
MTA, which is mostly
Brian
controlled
Lear
by the
of
state. Would the
NPR,
city
maybe
then have to foot
WNYC.
I
more
remember
of
him. He
the
didn't look
bill?
like that. What
And
happened
if
to
this
him?
is a good
His entire
idea, why
body?
didn't you propose it as governor?
Is he a Ozempic?
The
That might be
capital,
Ozempic.
first of all, New York City owns the New York City Transit Authority, not the MTA. It leases the trains and subways to the MTA. And then the question is the division of responsibility. New York City
Let's see if they
does
give
the
Curtis a couple
safety
seconds here.
along with the MTA. The problem the MTA is having is the capital construction projects. It has been an ongoing problem. I came in, I took over Moynihan and finished it. I came in and took over 2nd Avenue Subway, the L train tunnel. The capital construction projects are way overdue.
Would it fall more on the city to pay?
I would say, no, there is a budget set. My only point is the MTA, which is a labyrinth bureaucracy set up by Rockefeller, which should have never been done in the first place. It's an overwhelming task for the greatest managers, and I hire both of them. But let the city manage the capital construction from the MTA budget.
Mr. Mamdani, make your case briefly for your proposal for free buses for everybody, even those who can afford to pay.
You know, first I'll just say that one of the most celebrated leaders of the New York City Transit was Andy Byford, who had such a terrible experience working under Andrew Cuomo that he would rather work under Donald Trump right now. The proposal that we have put forward addresses the fact that today, in the wealthiest city, in the wealthiest country in the history of the world, 1 in 5 New Yorkers cannot afford the bus fare. It would cost $700 million a year to make the slowest buses in the country fast and free. And by doing so, we would generate more than double in economic revenue for New Yorkers across the city. It would be something that would reduce assaults on bus drivers, it would increase ridership on those buses, and it would actually have environmental impacts, as fewer New Yorkers would drive their own car or take a taxi and would instead get on the bus. And I know all of this because I delivered it as a state assembly member who won the first free buses in New York City's history.
And Mr. Sliwa, your website, according to my reading, has a section on transit safety, but nothing on transit service. Do you have any core proposals for improving it?
Oh, sure. First off, Zoran, I get a good belly laugh.
Zoran, bro.
Oh, all right. I'll keep practicing.
I got you.
I get a good belly laugh every time I hear you say free fare in the subways. Half the people don't pay anyway. How about fair enforcement? I'm the only one who says we have all kinds of fare programs for the indigent and the poor. But if you don't pay your fare, there needs to be enforcement. And by the way, I've taken the subway almost every day of my life since I was 5. The worst time was the summer of 2017, the summer of hell, Andrew Cuomo,
You're right,
when
Curtis.
you were running the subway system as the head of the MTA. I don't trust you with anything to do with mass transit.
How would you make it better?
Oh, very simply. Everybody pays their fare, enforcement, more cops in the subway system. And by the way, we can get more people to voluntarily actually sponsor their subway system stations, clean it up, and beautify them, and add some life so the community has input into the subway that they have to go through the sleaze and slime all the time.
All right, candidates, we've got just a couple of minutes. Let's have another quick lightning round where each candidate will answer my questions with a quick response, usually yes or no. Name one person you'd like to see run for president in 2028, Mr. Sliwa.
Wow, in 2028. Man, I'm dealing right now with 2025.
Mr. Mamdani.
My only focus is on November.
Mr. Cuomo.
I haven't thought it through.
Okay. We have a city of hundreds of languages and cultures. Can you greet New Yorkers in a language other than your own? Mr. Cuomo.
Ciao. Buenos dias.
Ni hao,我的朋友.
Okay.
Buona fortuna per 100 anni.
Okay. Have you decided on a school's chancellor, Mr. Sliwa?
Yes, I would ask Bob Holden, who's taught 40 years. He leads Democrats for Sliwa.
Okay. Mr. Mamdani.
No, I haven't decided on a chancellor's yet.
Okay. Should people be arrested for the solicitation of sex, Mr. Sliwa?
No, the Johns, yes, the pimps, the madams, and the absentee landlords.
Okay. Mr. Mamdani.
No.
Mr. Cuomo.
Zoran's decriminalization for prostitutes, johns, and pimps would be a disaster on the quality of life in
They
New
should be
York
arrested,
City.
you say? Should people be arrested for soliciting sex?
It is a criminal offense. I would keep it as it is.
Okay. Last question. Can you name one thing that New York got right during the COVID crisis, Mr. Sliwa?
New York got right. Oh, wow. He didn't get anything right during the COVID crisis. No.
Mr. Mamdani.
It only took me 15 minutes to get my vaccine shot when I went for that, and that was an efficient experience.
Mr. Cuomo.
Thank you for the compliment.
That was a city-run vaccine
All
site.
right,
No,
gentlemen.
it wasn't.
Thanks so much, gentlemen. That is going to do
You still
it
have to learn, son.
for this debate. I would like to thank the candidates and our partners and all of you at home. If you missed any part of this debate, you can watch it in its entirety at ny1.com and the Spectrum News YouTube channel. Early voting is set to begin across the 5 boroughs on Saturday, with several other races on the ballot as well, including city
before I hear the
control,
rest of it, I'll
public
tell you what I
advocate,
just heard.
the 5-borough
All right, Mayor,
president.
we got you on.
Well, of course, I did not hear the rest of the debate. Doesn't matter. I think I know New York City better than all three of them combined times 10. Sorry. I don't know what they ever achieved in New York City. I mean, Curtis did. Let me be fair to Curtis. Curtis did. Curtis was part of everything I did from the day I started running for mayor. And I was part of Curtis's organization from the first time I heard about it. I was the first major public official in New York City to support Guardian Angels. And I was the U.S. attorney in the Southern District of New York at the time. And the New York City Police Department, the greatest police department in the world, unless these people ruin it, is human. When you stop thinking that an organization that you admire isn't human, the organization starts to deteriorate. So you probably would be totally shocked to know that I put 70 police officers in jail, prosecuted them. Now, I came from a family in Brooklyn who had 4 uncles who were police officers, 2 cousins, and a third cousin who was a second cousin who died in the line of duty. I would say, I am not afraid to tell you, I love police officers. I love them because they do something that you don't do, or me. They make a commitment every day to go out there and put their lives on the line. And believe me, in the modern age, really for the last 20 years and more, for the last 50 years, they know that's a reality because they are confronted often enough with a police officer in Maryland was just shot dead in a traffic stop. Police officer in San Francisco helping ICE. Well, they don't help ICE. A police officer in San Francisco going into a homeless complex was just killed. A police officer in Kansas went to a domestic violence site and the woman killed him. Every time that happens, I bleed. Every time that happens, my organization, no, not mine, but the one I have some influence on, the one I advertise all the time, T2T.org, under the man who is the genius and the saint who runs it, Stephen. Stephen is actually the young man who was lost. Well, the Sliwa family. The Sliwa family goes and it gives the police family the money to pay the mortgage on the home, and then it works with the police family to get it all of the other things that it needs for support. We're there right away. Right away. So I do not understand how you can run for public office and we can have a debate over the police. And I don't understand what people in my city are thinking in making Mamdani a candidate of the party that dominates New York. New York is not a democracy. Would you please get that out of your head? New York hasn't been a democracy at any time in the 20th century or at any time that I can remember in the 19th century. New York is a Democrat-controlled, corrupt organization with a few over 170 years, with a few exceptions. The exceptions we could mark out in history would be the election of a Republican or the election of an independent, or every once in a while, the election of a really independent Democrat. So let me give you the modern era. I was elected in 1993. I was the third or fourth Republican elected in the 19th century, in the 20th century. After 100 years, third or fourth Republican. I was either the second or third to remain a Republican. One of those 4 or 3 Republicans, because there's a question as to whether he's a Republican or not. One of them, John Lindsay, became a Democrat, which is what happened with my successor, who got elected as a Republican. I endorsed him. The whole world will tell you he got elected because I endorsed him. I don't think he'd tell you that. A little ego involved. And there's no ego in my telling you that. It just happened because of 9/11 and because I was made into a superhero on 9/11 that I didn't deserve completely. You never deserve that. You're never that perfect. You're also never that bad. But in any event, it was the height of my political power. I endorsed him. He won. I think that any fair-minded person would have told you if I didn't, he wouldn't have. I also did the same thing in California with my very close friend, Bill Simon. I endorsed him for governor over a much more popular, better known and well-financed candidate, Richard Riordan, the mayor of Los Angeles, and Bill kicked his ass. Now, was Bill also a great candidate? If I had endorsed him and he was would he have won? No. Or same thing with Mike. If I had endorsed Mike and Mike was wouldn't have worked. Mike was a very talented man. But he wouldn't have won without that endorsement. And the reality is that New York City is a very, very difficult city for Republicans. If I just told you that Abraham Lincoln lost New York City, you'd get it, right? Mm-hmm. So now we have a choice, and we've got 3 candidates. I am supporting my friend for decades. From the time I saw him as a young man saving people in the subways, Curtis Sliwa, who I admire tremendously. There's probably no character I admire more than, or no principle or value than courage. Curtis Sliwa has more courage than anybody you're going to think about or equal to anybody you're going to think about. And he's an extraordinarily smart man. President of the United States told me, my God, after I talked to him, he's a lot smarter than I thought. Same thing I said after I interviewed him last week, and which you saw. I know him for years. He really has studied. He's really ready for this job. I can tell. I mean, he's much more ready for this job than he was 4 years ago when he ran for it, like I was 4 years later. This comes from the heart. This guy'd be a hell of a mayor. He'd be another LaGuardia or Giuliani. I really believe that. The question is, can he get elected? Are the odds stacked against him? The reality stacked against him? Here, it's not just the media. It is the media, but it's not just in Washington and in national politics and in Trump land, it's the media. It's the media in New York also, but it's also the thing I haven't really, I figured the meter out. I haven't figured this out. The reflexive vote of major, decrepit, falling apart cities for the party that has destroyed them, the Democrat Party. Any intellectual analysis of New York, Chicago, Philadelphia, Baltimore, let me go on, would tell you that the Boston Democratic Party has destroyed them. Because in most of the 160 or 170 years of rule, in the case of Chicago, 65 years in a row, the cities have gone from bad to worse. Yeah, sure, they built big buildings and they made a lot of money and they helped a lot of rich people. But their level of poverty, comparative to the level of poverty of America, has kept them way, way behind. It struck me probably really dramatically when the city of Baltimore went up in flames. And the congressman from Baltimore, very, very beloved among the Black people, stood in front of a camera and said, nobody has done anything for this district for 20 years or 25 years or 30 years. I don't remember the number. You know who the congressman was in that period of time? Him. For 23 years. So the real question is, what the hell did you do, pal? How about your wife became a millionaire? You think that escapes my notice? Because I faced that in New York when I took over in New York. Harlem was a shithole. No major company would go to Harlem. You couldn't have they had very high prices on groceries, not because people were racist, because they had grocery stores that could only order 6 boxes a case. So they couldn't get any kind of major discounts because no major store would be there, because their people would be killed and they would be wiped out. In 5 years, I changed that. And I'll tell you how sometime. No, not too many of these people ever asked me to tell them how. They don't want to know how. And all of a sudden, Harlem had national stores. Harlem's property rates, buildings that were being torn down, being sold for $1 million, $1.5 million. And I got to tell you, the Black politicians of Harlem had nothing to do with it. Nothing to do with it. They didn't participate in it. They had nothing to do with it. Had I left it the way it was, Charlie Rangel would have retired with his 26 million, 28 million, 30 million, having done shit for Harlem, although revered. The Black politicians of that era in New York really have to serve in a category known as the biggest traitor to their own people. You could put Chuck Schumer in there too, for the Jewish people. And it'd be a very nice little hell to be in. So I think Trump is getting us beyond that. We're getting beyond that. And we got to keep doing it, Ted.
Absolutely.
I have a feeling, but this all, we're a long way away from this, but this all comes down to, number one, can we not just survive 2026, but grow from it?
That's right.
And then I'm not even going to worry about 2028 until 2026 is over.
Right. Well, we have a new candidate for our worst Democrat of the cycle. Well, this is for
that's impossible. Okay.
This is a new one. I know. We've got a long list, Mayor. You haven't seen this one yet.
You want to join?
Well, yeah, we'll get her on. Just
okay.
Yeah.
We're going to take a break in a minute because we have to. If we don't get paid.
Yeah. Well, yeah. How about we take?
I'm hungry, Ted. I'm hungry. We got to eat.
We got to eat. We got some pasta cooking.
Oh, really?
Michael's from Brooklyn I think it's called.
Oh yeah,
Michael's of Brooklyn, maybe.
Who's that? That's Mike Ragusa, right?
Well, our buddy Mike Ragusa, but the brand he sends, and maybe he's biased towards it because of the name.
Buddy Mike.
But it's Michael's
Mike,
of Brooklyn.
Come down to Florida, babes.
Get down here. We got a
Bring
couch for you.
stuff with you.
Yeah.
And we'll take you to. We found 2 really good places. I don't know if I should mention them unless they, endorse.
Yeah,
us
maybe we'll save that.
I got to learn how to be more of a businessman. We got 2 great Italian places, but Italians can be stingy sometimes.
Right. Well, let's take a quick break, and we'll make some room for one of our guests, and then we can all react together on a new candidate for the worst Democrat of the cycle.
I don't even know who you're talking about. This is great. I love it. I love when you do
We'll
this.
be right back.
I love when Teddy does this. This is fabulous. This is U.S. Army Major Scott Smiley paid a high price serving our nation. Scott was leading his platoon in Iraq when a blast sent shrapnel through his eyes, leaving him blind and temporarily paralyzed. Scott would become the first blind active duty military officer before medically retiring years later. Thanks to friends like you, the Tunnel to Towers Foundation gave Scott and his family a mortgage-free, specially adapted smart home. Show your support for America's heroes now. Donate $11 a month to Tunnel to Towers at T2.
Are you ready for some action?
I'm ready for action.
Get the Elite TV plan only through the portal. 218 channels, and it's only $69.95 a month,
Wow.
including your free portal.
That's cheaper than everyone else.
Your favorite sports, movies, news,
Wow.
even daytime dramas. We're talking about ESPN, OAN, Newsmax,
Wow.
channels you can't get anymore in certain areas.
Compared to the competition, this is a way better deal.
Endless selection. Not to mention all the free music channels. There's over 700 premium and classic movies all ready to go.
Wow.
Plus, they got catch-up TV that allows you to go back and watch what you've missed or want to watch again. Cut your cable in half and get twice as much for free.
Way more channels for half the cost.
After the first year, the subscription then drops to $57.95 monthly,
Wow.
where you change or upgrade anytime. Go to QUXNow.com and get yours today. Use promo code RUDY. Act fast. These deals are selling out.
Here we are, pretty much at the beginning of the process here at this pristine, I call it a laboratory. It's not like a factory, it's like a hospital. This is the beginning of the process for roasting. Deep grain, very good quality. Most people don't use this quality. We deal with small farmers because we like to know who we're dealing with. They give us the highest quality, all organic, non-GMO. You should know all Arabica beans, no Robusto, all Arabica. They're gonna go into the roaster and it'll get roasted for about 20 minutes or so. Oh my goodness, look at these. My goodness. You're going to want to specially order these. This is what goes into Rudy's Coffee.
Are you ready for some action?
I'm ready for action.
Get the Elite TV plan only through the portal. 218 channels, and it's only $69.95 a month,
Wow.
including your free portal.
That's cheaper than everyone else.
Your favorite sports, movies, news,
Wow.
even daytime dramas. We're talking about ESPN, OAN, Newsmax,
Wow.
channels you can't get anymore in certain areas.
Compared to the competition, this is a way better deal.
Endless selection. Not to mention all the free music channels. There's over 700 premium and classic movies all ready to go.
Wow.
Plus, they got catch-up TV that allows you to go back and watch what you've missed or want to watch again. Cut your cable in half and get twice as much for free.
Way more channels for half the cost.
After the first year, the subscription then drops to $57.95 monthly,
Wow.
where you change or upgrade anytime. Go to QUXNow.com and get yours today. Use promo code RUDY. Act fast. These deals are selling out.
I may have a throat
And
left.
we're back.
I may have a throat left. This is Rudy Giuliani, who doesn't have a throat left, but he's trying hard because this is a great this show has taken a great turn. You know, each one of these shows, these interview shows, whatever, they're a creature of their own. They take on a dimension and they go off on a question. But Ted is doing something he usually doesn't do. He's running off right now to do a few things, but he's going to be right back, and he's going to tell us a surprise that we're all waiting for, which is some Democrat, like the worst thing a Democrat ever did. Giving up Bagram Airport is pretty bad. I mean, since it helped China, our enemy, and Biden in return got anywhere from, if you believe the silly people in the House, it's 21 million. If you believe me, it's 31 million. So,
and we're gonna have our.
Then I want to tell you about I have very complex and true feelings about the people of Ukraine. I love the people of Ukraine. I am extraordinarily harsh or I think accurate about the government of Ukraine, but I don't in any way. I can think like on several levels. I don't have to be a moron. I am absolutely. You may hate Zelensky. You may think Zelensky is a crook. It could be. You may think Zelensky is stealing some of the money. He may be. You may think, I don't know what you think of Zelensky. Or he's not a great general or whatever. Okay, now let's put Putin here. No comparison. We're dealing in a different universe. We're dealing in the universe here with Putin of maniacal murderer. A guy who likes death. I equate him to John Gotti in my life. Mafia guys, there were a lot of mafia guys that never liked killing people. I know that's hard to believe, but they delegated it. When they got up near the top, they stayed away from it. Also, it makes sense to stay away from it. If I order a mafia killing, what the hell do I want to be there for? I want to be in Bermuda, right? With 5 witnesses. Gotti would like to be there so he could watch it. Let's see if that's done right. If it isn't, I'll go in and kill him myself.
Right.
Okay, this is what you got in Putin. Putin is a mad killer. Sorry, this is my own personal opinion developed by me. First of all, in contradiction, not to Donald Trump, but to George Bush. I met him after Bush said he saw something in his eyes, and it was. I met him at Ground Zero. I spent an hour and a half with him. I met somebody with something in his eyes that reminded me of the numerous murderers that I convicted and used as witnesses. He was cold about the dead bodies that were there. A lot of what I've done in my life, which I don't know if I could write a book about it. I don't know if I can explain it. A lot of it was done on instinct and feeling. Like the people I prosecuted, the people I figured out who would cooperate, the people who wouldn't. I just said, this guy's a really bad guy. This is a guy who has his evaluation on life and death is totally different than mine. Then I went to visit him not a long time later, about 3 years later. It happened to be after the Chechnya bombings. And I agreed with him about the Muslims and what the Muslims did and how bad they were. And blah, 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 blah. I still walked out thinking I was talking to a stone cold killer. And then the next day, he took the right away of every governor in Russia to be elected, which had nothing to do with the killing in Chechnya. He just had to do it in Chechnya. He didn't have to do it in Siberia. Well, I won't go into the whole thing. From then on, I've been on to him. Once a KGB killer, always a KGB killer. You got to evaluate him that way. Do not get into, don't get into fantasies about him. If you want to bullshit him to deal with him, I love that. I do the same thing. But never let the brain lose who the hell he is. So Ted, I gave you some time to get ready. You better be ready.
I'm ready. We have our friend
because
Natalie
I'm ready. Then I want to turn to the bravery of the people of Chernoff. in Ukraine who fought off the Russians. And
Okay.
man, I want to go there and we got to go there and fight with Kharkiv before it's over.
We do.
I love Kharkiv. I built their emergency management center. Russians are constantly picking on them, and they are constantly beating the shit out of the Russians.
And it still stands. And that's
All right,
thanks to Mayor Giuliani. So just want to introduce our friend Madeline Hecht, an international consultant and a good friend of the show. She's been supporting, helping us for a number of years now.
Everyone knows Madeline.
Everybody does know Madeline. It seems like wherever you go in the world, they know Madeline. So there's Madeline, but we're going to play the clip now and get your reaction, Mayor. This is a new contestant for the worst Democrat running.
This has got to be hard. To reach this
cycle.
I don't know. You're coming over too. Oh, because you're shocked. Like, how could it be? How could it be? Who is this?
Here we go. So
Ted has introduced drama in our program.
Black people. That's why they're losing poor people, because poor people, all they want is for us to fight. So if you hit me in my face, I'm not going to punch you back in your face. I'm going to go across your neck, because we can go back and forth fighting each other's faces. You've got to hit hard enough where they won't come back.
Play that again, please.
Here we go. This is.
Well, now tell me who it is.
This is Yolanda Jones.
Yeah,
she is.
That doesn't mean anything to me. Yolanda Jones. Who the hell is Yolanda Jones? She's not exactly a household word until now.
She is running. She's running in a special House election.
But she's not in Congress.
She is a current Texas House representative.
Oh, one of those who ran away?
Texas state rep. Yes, and she did fly. She did.
Okay, I can see why
she abdicated her duties, as they say.
Okay. So Yolanda Jones is running for Congress,
a special seat.
She's the Democrat candidate.
Happening in 2 weeks.
She's the Democrat candidate, like Mamdani, the communist, right? Islamic terrorist, supporter, is running in New York. So Yolanda Jones is running in Texas, which is very far away, and where I used to think I could go and relax. So now they got this congressional candidate in Texas. She's actually the candidate of the Party of Slavery?
The Democrat Party.
Okay.
So let's hear this. Listen closely here. And again,
let's listen, because she
what do you take from this?
Well, the last one, I almost fainted.
Losing black people. That's why they're losing poor people, because poor people, all they want is for us to fight. So if you hit me in my face, I'm not going to punch you back in your face. I'm going to go across your neck, because we can go back and forth fighting each other's faces. You've got to hit hard enough where they won't come back.
So what does she mean by
I have
you got
no
to hit
idea,
hard
but
they
I
won't
mean,
come back?
It's pretty easy what she said. If just hitting somebody in the face is not enough, you got to slit their throat and kill them.
Right. You got to hit them hard enough so they don't come back.
I'm actually pretty good at interpreting.
Right. You've
I've
no
been
one
doing
has
it all
as much
my life, and does she? Maybe she wants to come on our show, and we'll invite her to offer some context to it. But that
we will definitely invite her on.
Straight out, it says it's not enough when you oppose these people in the violent riots that we do all the time, that the press never describes as violent riots, even though we burned down half the city.
Right.
Just hitting them in the face is not enough. We have to slit their throats and kill them. That's what she just said.
Bingo. Now we got to put a montage.
Which is not at all inconsistent with what a lot of Democrats are saying all over the country. That is not just close to, is inviting people to commit murder.
Bingo. And
is this like one of the? Remember way back in the simpler days when I first represented Trump, the first thing that I recognized was they had these like talking points that they gave to each other. So on one morning, like when they went after Stephanopoulos, completely unfair, completely unsupported by anything, they all did. Not Stephanopoulos, Papadopoulos. When they went after Papadopoulos, they said, this will be a big, everyone else says anything, major breakthrough. Papadopoulos, very close to Trump on foreign policy, has caved in. Papadopoulos, very close to Trump on foreign policy, big breakthrough. I must have heard that 100 times. I'm representing Trump. I'm trying to remember Papadopoulos, right? I'm a lawyer, right? I remember Papadopoulos because he was at the meeting I was at. He was a nice kid, a really nice kid.
Oh, we love George.
No. I'm talking about George before George is now a very substantial guy.
Yes.
I'm talking about George back then.
Exactly. He was a low-level staffer.
Young guy. He was taking notes. He made a couple of really terrific observations.
Right.
And I thought, what a talented guy.
Yeah.
I said, they're picking on George Papadopoulos. This is crazy. There's no way Trump would carry out some kind of a big, gigantic international conspiracy with this poor kid. What are they doing to him?
Yeah.
And then, of course, it turned out to be completely crazy. This is maniacal.
We don't do that sort of thing to
George.
To
by the
people
way,
like
George. By the way, will one day. George one day should be Secretary of State or something like that. But we'll talk about that later.
We got to get him back on. We love George. He's right down the road.
George is smart as hell, and what they did to him is horrible. Like Carter Page.
Carter Page,
who I think is going to be a multi-billionaire. If he isn't already, I think they settled with him for like enormous amounts of money.
Like
so, Carter, just invite me for the weekend, okay?
Yeah, and you deserve every penny. So this is state rep Yolanda Jones. Now this is back during the great when they all fled the state and went to Illinois of all places. Think about that. The Democrats in Texas,
why did they stay there?
They went to the most maybe the most gerrymandered state.
I could have been
in order
Texas
to protest gerrymandering.
I mean, it was close between Texas and Florida.
Bracewell, Giuliani, you have a lot of history there.
You're damn right. I loved it.
Houston, not Dallas. Houston.
I like even Dallas. Don't tell Roy Bailey that. He'll cry. Roy Bailey is now crying. Let's get him on the phone.
We'll get him on there.
Get Roy on. Don't make him cry.
Yeah,
Roy,
maybe he'll come on. We'll get his. Okay, so let's do this next clip. This is the same state rep, Yolanda Jones. This is she's on. Oh, she's joining a real genius here. Okay, let's play the clip. This is from back.
I bet we get
August.
a good one here.
Showing us who they are. We should believe them. And we better have the courage to stand up. Otherwise, we will fall for anything. And in this country, we will be defeated, deported. I mean, we will lose all of our rights. And if you think it can't happen, it can. And I will liken this to the Holocaust. People are like, well, how did the Holocaust happen? How was somebody in a position to kill all them people? Well, good people remain silent. Or good people didn't realize that what happens to them can very soon happen to me or somebody I love. And so even if you made it, man, you have an obligation to help people who can't, because God forbid they end up targeting you and your
Don Lemon?
Yeah, like I said, a real genius.
I thought he went to Moscow.
Yeah. What's he still doing here? Well, he went independent, and I got to tell you, Mayor, another night we'll have to play I bet some of the clips. He does Man on the Street, and they all just laugh at him.
I got to tell you what, he's so desperate. I think we can get him on.
I wonder if he'd come on with us. I bet you went on with him back when he was at CNN.
I went on with everybody.
You did. I remember back.
Well,
anyway.
How about you give up the microphone, handsome man?
Right. That's what I have to do.
You know what's happening now? This is what he does. We're getting all kinds of. Is he single?
Yes.
Is he single?
Oh, you're saying in the comments. Well,
I'll tell you the ones he should avoid. Does he have any money?
Right. Well, hey, considering where we are these days,
I'm not saying whether you have any money or not, but when they start thinking that.
No, I'm saying considering where we are.
I'm Italian. I'm all about romance.
Right.
Either you're in love desperately or you're not. And if you're in love desperately, the money doesn't matter. And if they start putting in things like, do you have any money? You don't have to be an Italian like genetically. You got to be an Italian spiritually, emotionally. So if you're an Italian, you got to be, what kind of guy is he? Is he loving? Is he caring? Is he sensitive? That we can work with. So if you have a lot of money, you're working on a different group of people.
Well, I'll just let all the ladies know up there right now. I'm not quite there yet.
Oh, you're gonna
give me a few years, Mayor.
Don't even worry about Ted. Ted is the most resourceful guy I've ever met. I'm telling you, Ted,
That coming from you means a lot.
there's a big catch here. But
I'm going to save this video now and use it.
now
on
wait a
potential
second.
dates.
If you catch him, I'm going to fight you because then he won't be available as much for me.
So that's part of the deal.
I mean, yeah, you come in and help us. Become part of the team like Dr. Maria is.
Yes.
You become part of the team.
Yes. You're allowed to have a family and a life, but
This is terrible.
It involves this.
You think this is disgusting what we're doing?
What are we doing?
I don't know. This is terrible. I know somehow I feel bad that we're doing this, but I think it's very human. But okay.
Wait,
all right.
feel bad about what? You're trying to get me a date, Mayor. I don't know how help I can get. What do you mean? Let's keep it going. I'm cutting this video. This is my new my dating profile video.
Okay.
We're the
all right.
matchmakers now.
So we have Madeline Hecht with us.
Very smart.
Oh,
Madeline.
thank you for having me.
Oh, Madeline and I have had numerous conversations, and this lady. Well, you go ahead. You go ahead.
Oh, well, Madeline, of course, she travels a lot, so she's got a good read on the international.
Yeah, this is a good.
reaction.
I'll tell you what. I'm going to say this to the administration. This is a good person to talk to. I used to do this all the time for Reagan. There's a good person to talk to if you want to get an idea of what's going on, all different places.
Right.
Because well, let's go ahead. You go ahead.
Well, let's start with Israel. We know, Madeline, I believe you've been to Israel. You spent some time in Israel this summer.
Yes.
To the degree that you can talk about it.
Yes.
How's it going over there? Give us some insights and some observations that may not come across on the television.
Well, I mean, the information that everyone's getting is not correct. It's not accurate. The entire world is getting what, Hamas and everybody has been propaganding. I was in Israel. I went to the borders. I saw the videos.
About when?
This was back in August, the middle of August.
Okay. August. Okay.
I went with a group from Newsmax, and we got to see and understand a lot more of what's actually happening internally in Israel, that Israel is not giving out to the world. They're not sharing the information that's really happening within Gaza.
And the reason?
That's Charlie Kirk even sent Netanyahu a letter saying, you need to learn how to put it out there, and social media wise.
Because of the unbelievably biased. I mean, there used to be a thing where when I grew up, right? I don't know when that was. Probably when they were still dinosaurs. But it used to be like if you put it out to the media, you would get fair coverage.
Right.
That'd be like a protection.
Right.
I even stupidly believed that when I first got the information on Biden.
Correct.
Which would have been in 2016, 17, 16, 15.
19. Up to 19.
No, up to then. But when I first got it, when I first came, it was beginning of 2016. When I first got the information, I still believed my best protection. Well, first of all, Lindsey Graham, Lindsey, he wouldn't come up to me last weekend when I was there at the Trump golf course, would you?
No.
Lindsey, I still love you. I know. You got to understand, everybody has failings, and I don't condemn you.
You're as patient as they come.
I love you because of our past experiences. Would you come up and talk to me, please? I don't condemn you, and you probably could even deny it. Because when I first went to you, way back, with all the Biden shit, you said, oh, the Senate doesn't want this because he was another senator. And we could have ended it then, before it all started. But in any event, I had all this information. I couldn't get anybody to. I went to Lindsey Graham. I went to the state.
Yeah.
Pompeo buried it.
Nobody wants to hear the truth because taking accountability sometimes is very hard. Well, I also live in London and in Florence. And when I went, I had been in Israel and I had the chance to meet with Bibi. And a few people found out about that.
So I met Bibi when he was, so it would have been in 1985.
Ooh.
And he was a minister in the joint government between Rabin and Shamir.
Mm-hmm.
So during the Shamir part, he had a position. Maybe health. I don't remember. That's when I first met him. And I thought, wow, this guy is unbelievable. He understands it. This is like, and now I compare it to Churchill.
His presence, his energy.
He understands America. He understands Israel. Churchill understood America. He understood Israel because he was half American. So tell me about the meeting with Bibi.
You feel his energy. You see how clear-minded he is. You feel it in the room. And he really was, considering everything that's been going on, he still kept a composure of himself that was quite admirable and energetic as well. And
Bibi could challenge Trump for having one of the most complex minds in our generation, meaning operating on many, many different levels for the good of his country, not for bad purposes, but for the good of his country, which I believe Trump does. Doesn't mean they're always right, but it means they always try to go back to what's good for my country. Now, I don't think that either one of them cared that much about what's good for them.
No.
Because they've taken too many risks.
And I've met both, and they both have this energy.
Did you meet Mrs.?
Yes, I did.
Tell me about her.
Yes, I met
I know
Mrs.
her a little bit.
Sarah
I
Mendel.
almost represented
Really?
Bibi. I'm not going to tell you why I will tell you why I didn't, but you tell me first about her.
She's very energetic, very warm, very caring, and very, very knowledgeable. You feel the same. I can see why they are together.
She's been beaten up a lot.
Yes, she is. It's admirable as well to see how she stands tall with this great, energy.
She's a beautiful lady.
Very, very beautiful. She came to Guatemala.
Did you see her in like the? She's a beautiful lady. Very elegant.
Very elegant.
beautiful.
She holds herself very beautifully.
But what is the? So what is she like? Does she have the same substantive understanding that he does? I mean, is it?
I would say yes, absolutely. A little more. She laughed. She laughed with me.
A little
lot.
more what?
She laughed with me a lot.
Oh, she a little more with a sense of humor.
Yeah. Very
Yeah.
sweet. Very, very
That's
sweet.
True. I saw that. They paint her horribly.
Exactly.
I mean, the Israeli press, who's anti-Bibi, goes after her more than him, which is similar to how they went after Donald Trump Jr. more than the president to get to him.
Exactly.
When I was his lawyer, and I would constantly tell him, "Don't take the bait. Don't take the bait."
No.
They don't have shit on Donald Jr. I knew they couldn't have indicted Donald Jr. if they had paid off everybody. Donald Jr.
He's a tough one.
Would you like this? Donald Jr. didn't do a damn thing wrong so much that even the Biden corruptors could not have indicted him. But they threatened it every 2 weeks. And they knew every time they threatened him, they believed they could set him off. And it worked about 2 or 3 times. Then he got
Used to it.
Then he didn't pay attention to it.
You can't. Because when you know what you stand for.
But they've gone after his wife. They've gone after Bibi's wife horribly.
Even beyond the word, I just.
So why are they doing that? Why? What's going on inside Israel that opposes Bibi? So why does Trump get applauded in Israel and then few people boo Bibi? And the president says, leave him alone and reelect him. He's a great prime minister. He is, by the way.
Yeah. Sorry, I don't mean to jump in here, but I think part of the answer, Mayor, and I'd like to get your perspective on this. Bibi Netanyahu had a lot of history in Israel, but even going back to the 90s, the left wing, they blamed him for the death of Rabin. So and yeah, of course it wasn't his fault. I mean, obviously. But do you think, and Madeline can answer this too, you spent more time there than me.
Please let Madeline answer it first.
Is
Then
that
I'll tell you about my experience with the death of a man I really admire. I admired Rabin very much, but I'll tell you about it.
Madeline, do you think there's still some of that lingering among the Israeli population, just the anti-Bibi sentiment that does go back decades among the left wing?
Absolutely, it's there, and I don't think it's going to go anywhere until this is done, and until Israel has the peace that it needs.
Mayor, you went over there. I mean, when they were bombing those buses, I believe it was a number 18 bus, multiple times. Other bus lines were hit hard, and you went over there, and you knew that you were taking a risk by doing that. But you understood at that time the importance.
I understood. I don't know when, sometime in the 1980s, probably mid 1980s. I understood the unbelievable connection between this country, America, my country, the one I love, and the state of Israel. I also understood how critical the state of Israel was to the United States of America. Now, I partially understood that from Ronald Reagan, who said to me, I heard personally, we should support Israel, not for domestic politics. We should get it out of domestic politics. It's getting screwed up because of domestic politics. We should support Israel because it's our best ally. If it isn't our best ally, it's in the 1, 2, 3 category. This was a speech he gave to a group of State Department, Defense Department, Justice Department officials, including yours truly. Right. And he said, when Israel wants something, first answer is yes, then come back to us. Because we have very few friends like Israel. And Ronald Reagan, who never took a speech where he didn't have an opportunity to go on for 45 minutes with a lot of wisdom, went on to explain the following, which is in my mind forever. Human beings have very few friends in life. Boy, have I learned that. But you got a couple, probably, if you're a good human being. And I did. And nations are no different. They have very few good friends in life. And Israel is one of our best friends. I can name the others, but right now we're talking about Israel. So our relationship with Israel should be based on that, not the ephemeral, who do they vote for? Who don't they vote for? He said, this is what I can't stand about American politicians. And this is why ultimately, hopefully, if we get to the right place, this is the way we will put it. I remember that forever. That was probably 1982. Forever, I remember that. And all I do is look to, how does Israel support us? And then therefore, what do we owe them? Well, I'm going to tell you what we owe them right now. We owe them what we did to Iran. What we did to Iran would never have happened if the Israelis for a year hadn't wiped out their entire defense. It seemed like it was about a third of our Air Force full over Iran. Not only did we blow the shit out of their capacities that they had for nuclear attack, they never attacked us once. That was 13 hours of American, I don't know, it was like a parade of American military going over their country, destroying them. And they never made an attempt to defend themselves. Now, who accomplished that for us? Who wiped it out so we could do that? Bibi. So that's what the relationship should be based on. So now you want me to go into a war. If you say to me, I want to go into a war, who do I want with me? Israel first, right there. Now, I'm going to feel better about protecting my troops if I got Israel sitting right here. I'm going to tell you another one for sure, particularly with this woman who just got elected.
Oh.
Within a year, Japan. Kamichi is fabulous. Fabulous. Half of you are somewhere in. Do you want China to go into a tailspin they can't get out of? You tell China we're going to rearm Japan. Just say that. Yeah, I'm thinking. You know how Trump is great at these like little things. He says, I've been thinking maybe I should rearm Japan. China would fall apart. Do you know how afraid the Chinese are, the Japanese? This is 2,000 years old of this little tiny island beating the living daylights out of this big continent. Every time, everywhere. Now, true of the Koreans too. They frightened. So we got to fix that because we need South Korea. Because they do the same. I mean, it's a little hard to control them, but we will. And we gotta put like the South Koreans together with the Japanese so they don't get all spooked out. But you let the Japanese free, and you just conquered China. Would you like to go back and read 2,000 pages, 2,000 years of Asian history? Go ahead. And you'll see what I'm telling you is absolutely true. The Japanese are afraid, in a maniacal sense, of the Japanese. That little island, little teeny island, has defeated them every time. They've had an opportunity to do it, except that when it was counted against them, when it was fixed. Last thing they want is a demilitarized Japan, demilitarized Philippines, demilitarized Taiwan already. Come on, see. Let's see if you can do better than the Russians did in Ukraine. 20% of the country. 1 million people dead. You want that? This is extraordinarily important. This is what Kissinger used to say was realpolitik. Let's be realistic. Let's be brutal. And let's really figure out what these people are thinking, because these are not like you. These are not people who go to church on Sunday. These are not people who or on Saturday. These are not people who worship the Torah. These are not people who worship the gospel. These are people who worship killing on behalf of communism. And they've been our menace for now 150, 160 years. And it's we have to start understanding who we are opposing. Should we take a short break, Ted?
Yes.
Okay, and then we'll have a few more minutes on soccer time.
We're well into soccer time now. We'll wrap up here. Let's take a quick commercial break.
U.S. Army Major Scott Smiley paid a high price serving our nation. Scott was leading his platoon in Iraq when a blast sent shrapnel through his eyes, leaving him blind and temporarily paralyzed. Scott would become the first blind active duty military officer before medically retiring years later. Thanks to friends like you, the Tunnel to Towers Foundation gave Scott and his family a mortgage-free, specially adapted smart home. Show your support for America's heroes now. Donate $11 a month to Tunnel to Towers at T2T.org.
Are you ready for some action?
I'm ready for action.
Get the Elite TV plan only through the portal. 218 channels, and it's only $69.95 a month,
Wow.
including your free portal.
That's cheaper than everyone else.
Your favorite sports, movies, news,
Wow.
even daytime dramas. We're talking about ESPN, OAN, Newsmax, channels you can't get anymore in certain areas.
Compared to the competition, this is a way better deal.
Endless selection. Not to mention all the free music channels. There's over 700 premium and classic movies all ready to go.
Wow.
Plus, they got catch-up TV that allows you to go back and watch what you've missed or want to watch again. Cut your cable in half and get twice as much for free.
Way more channels for half the cost.
After the first year, the subscription then drops to $57.95 monthly,
Wow.
where you change or upgrade anytime. Go to QUXNow.com and get yours today. Use promo code RUDY. Act fast. These deals are selling out.
Here we are, pretty much at the beginning of the process here at this pristine, I call it a laboratory. It's not like a factory, it's like a hospital. This is the beginning of the process for roasting. Deep green, very good quality. Most people don't use this quality. We deal with small farmers because we like to know who we're dealing with. They give us the highest quality, all organic, non-GMO. You should know all Arabica beans, no Robusto, all Arabica. They're going to go into the roaster and it'll get roasted for about 20 minutes or so. Oh my goodness, look at these. My goodness. You're going to want to specially order these. This is what goes into Rudy's coffee.
And we're back.
Well, we're back, and let's first make clear that Sine, and excuse us, Madam Prime Minister, if we mispronounce your name, nobody's given us a phonetic description of it. I'm doing the best I can from having spent 5-6 trips in Japan and having 2 businesses there. And Madam Prime Minister, I love your country. So that is a remarkable thing to see. She is now submitting her credentials as the Prime Minister of Japan to the Emperor of Japan. Right there. That's it. You know why that's happening? General Douglas MacArthur, a genius, an absolute genius. If you want to dispute his genius in war, come and debate me, and you will leave crying. I will kill you if you would like to talk about his Incheon landing and the brilliance of it and how he was undercut by the communists in the White House. Want to try that? Any of you left-wing shitheads who would like to do that, come and debate me on it. Okay. But beyond that, nobody can debate MacArthur's brilliance as the governor of Japan. He made us their biggest loved nation. We bombed them twice with nuclear weapons. Who could do that but a genius like the #1 graduate from the United States Military Academy, whose father got the Congressional Medal of Honor, and who also got the Congressional Medal of Honor, Douglas R. MacArthur. Left-wingers have done everything they can to destroy the reputation of the greatest general, I think, in American military history. Not used as much as he should have been, but when he was, he did miracles. The man was a military genius. Everybody at West Point knows this. There's not a solid person at West Point that doesn't know our greatest general was Douglas R. MacArthur. So we now have a female leader who takes the reins in Japan. And believe it or not, I don't know, I guess there's a way to describe this in a way you'll get it. She's conservative. She is now giving her credentials to the emperor. You're going to say, oh, that's kind of strange. You see that ceremony? That's the ceremony MacArthur immediately revived when he became head of the transition of Japan. He went to the emperor, who he understood was like kept out of everything. He didn't know about the attacks on America. He didn't know about shit. He's a figurehead, but an important figurehead. He went to him and he said, I'm going to straighten your country out, but with loyalty to you. Maybe one of the most brilliant decisions made in American political history. And when we finish our dispute with China, maybe it will turn out to be the most important, if not one of the most important. But we see that reenacted today with the Sine Takachi. There she is, Sine Takachi. Bowing to the king, the emperor. Becoming the prime minister of Japan, one of my favorite countries. You have no idea how much I love Japan. Sometime I'll explain. This country can become the difference. This country right there with that woman with the right ideas. You handle this right, Mr. President, this is the answer to China. Do you know when China saw this? I'm going to tell you this. Please, little unsolicited advice. Every knowledgeable person in China, when they saw this, excuse the vulgarity, shit their pants. There is no country in the world that China fears more, including us, Mr. President, than Japan. This is like 2,000 years. These people destroy the Chinese. Tiny, little island, very small. Warriors like you never saw. You see that? If you're a Chinese communist, your hands are going like this. Yeah, right. Would you please believe me? I'm telling you, I studied it. I don't want to just believe it. I mean, they are going in China right now. They're watching this over and over again. And they're saying, holy shit. They're going to bring Japan back against us. Next one is Philippines, by the way, Mr. President. Let's get the Philippines there with us. You know what a coalition against China that would be? You, America. Japan coming down this way. Remember, the place they want to take Taiwan is right here. Japan's right up here. Japan can protect them here. Philippines can protect them from here. We can protect them from anywhere. And they can protect themselves. Now, without all that, Russia has taken what, 3-4 years to capture 20% of Ukraine? Hey, Z, what the?
Hey, this isn't broadcast television.
Hey, Z, what you gonna do? You think we're waiting for you? You think all these years we've been sitting there thinking, oh, gee, they're not going to do an amphibious landing. They're not going to do an amphibious landing of Taiwan. You think they have it all figured out with the help of the Americans, with the help of the Japanese, with the help of the Philippines, with the help of anybody who wants to help against evil? No, they haven't. So, Z, you're a very careful man. If you're going to be there, maybe you should think it over about taking over Taiwan. You think you're going to do better than Russia did in Ukraine? It's going to be worse. And you know this female who took over in Japan? God, watch out for females.
Yes, that's
See,
good advice.
I gotta tell you, I gotta put it in your head. See, Chinese Z or mixed up Z, whoever can take over for them. You guys don't appreciate females. This lady hates you. She spent her whole life figuring out how to destroy you.
Well, Mayor, before we
Takachi, I'll give you this article here. You know, these articles are like pap, but they convey something. Takachi favors closer U.S. relationships, military strength. I'll wait for the last part. And a tough stand toward China. You gonna take on a woman? I don't even think in China you know what women are because you degrade them so much. I don't even think you have any idea what women are. I don't think you have any ability. I don't think your intelligence service has any ability to determine the strength of women. When you see what this woman is like, you are going to bye-bye. So, any more on the debate?
Well, we're asking our
We got a debate. When I say the debate, this is very, very narrow and very. I just can't stop thinking about my city, New York. It's still my city. I live in Palm Beach, but I love New York, and I love what the great cities did for the Constitution and Boston, New York, Philadelphia, gosh, Virginia, right? Virginia, where they're putting people in jail because they're fighting for their children. And where they have this absolutely maniac AG candidate who was dreaming about killing the children of the majority leader, who's a Republican at the state Senate. They haven't thrown him out. And the governor who's running, Spangberger, okay, can't figure out whether she's against him or for him. Because Spangberger has no, when you can't figure out whether you're for somebody or not for somebody, I'm going to tell you why that happens. Please listen to me. I'm a politician. I've been through this. I'm also a moralist. You can't figure it out because you have no soul. You don't care anymore. It's real simple. Really, really simple. When this guy who was attorney general candidate, right? Said, what did he say?
He said, and I'm paraphrasing here, but this is what he said. He wanted to kill a fellow state legislator, a Republican, but not just the state legislature, but his family, including his children. And when called out by another person in a text thread, he doubled down and made it clear that yes, the world would be better off without the offspring of this state legislator. And when confronted on a debate stage, and we're going to play this video here, Spanberger had nothing, absolutely nothing to say.
Pulling the trigger, is that what would do it? And then you would say he needs to get out of the race? Abigail, you have nothing to say? Abigail, what if he said it about your your 3 children?
What's that all about?
Is that when you would say he should get out of the race, Abigail?
She's not entitled to the name Abigail. That name belongs to Abigail Adams.
I was going to say Abigail Adams.
Take it away from her. What a complete wretch.
And isn't it amazing how even in the media, the media...
I don't think if I stood there during my debate for mayor of New York City, when I had to go against a city that hadn't elected a Republican in 2 generations, if I stood there and as I was being attacked, I went like this. That's my answer? Throw her out. Come on. Do you have any common sense, people? This is Virginia, right?
This is Virginia.
What they do.
You got any common sense, people? Look at that. Look at her.
Say,
what?
Abigail.
This happens.
What if
Abigail
he said about your 3 children?
has no response.
Is that when you would say he should get out of the race, Abigail? You're running to be governor.
Miss Earl Sears.
I mean, we're talking about murder. We're talking about someone's life being taken from them. Have you nothing to say about that? Are you not going to address it?
Look at this.
Really, you can't go any further. You're a governor. You're supposed to stand up for all the people.
I don't get it.
Are you saying political murder is all right? Have some political courage. What you have done is you are taking political calculations about
He's actually
your future
smiling a
as
little
governor.
bit.
Well, as governor, you have to make hard choices, and that means telling Jay Jones to leave the race.
I mean that.
So how do you elect an automaton like that? Tell me how the people of Virginia, a great state, a commonwealth, one of our first states, right?
Yeah.
How do they elect that thing?
A complicit media and I guess too many people not doing their homework before voting.
Oh.
Well, they're voting already, right?
I believe so.
They are.
Virginia early voting. But that, that's what you can chalk this up to. And we're seeing the same thing in New Jersey and elsewhere.
What are we seeing in New Jersey?
Well, we have a Democrat gubernatorial nominee, Mickey Sherrill, who, lied about her record in the Naval Academy.
Oh, really?
And now is attempting to hide that, claiming that these records are for her and only her to see.
Oh.
So the question about we need to know about the unbelievably, ridiculously idiotic left-wing, way over the top candidate in New Jersey to continue probably the worst gubernatorial 8 years of anybody in America, Murphy. If it isn't the worst, it's the second or third worst, behind Newsom and whoever was in New York. So I don't know. Do we have to have a more objective measure of loss? How many people left? More people left New Jersey per capita than any place in America, while the Democrat was head of the city, of the country, of the state. She wants to be head of the state. Her policies are worse than his. Why is there even a debate?
Right.
Why do you want to destroy yourself? People in New Jersey, would you like to destroy yourself with this woman who was a liar in the Naval Academy, who spent another half a year, 3/4 of a year left behind because she was a liar, and then put in the Navy because the Navy couldn't figure out how to stand for principle, because they had like 200 of these people who had cheated. Maybe the answer to that is you get rid of the 200 people. You get rid of all the people who got them to cheat, and you start all over again. So we can have a Navy that's honest. It's not your Navy. Screw you. It's our Navy. This woman is an example of one of the greatest treacheries in American history. I don't know. We got a couple hundred of them hanging around in the Navy who lied when they were cadets. Isn't the whole idea of the academy to get people who aren't going to lie when they're officers?
Right. I mean, we all lose because of this. Every United States citizen loses when someone who is supposed to represent, one of our top academies and defend us, and part of that warrior class that Pete Hegseth so appropriately is creating. They're supposed to have honor, dignity. They're supposed to be the best of the best. And she demonstrated otherwise. And it's a stain on the Naval Academy as a whole. And for this woman to be the front runner for governor of one of our largest states is, again, I believe, an indictment on the media and an apathetic voting base.
So we got 3. New Jersey, Virginia, and New York City. Okay? We can make a difference in all 3 this year. So let's start with New Jersey. In New Jersey, we have a Republican candidate, Jack Ciattarelli, who is completely competent to be governor. Very successful businessman. He understands the balance that has to be created between government and business. He understands the enormity of debt in New Jersey and how it has to be fixed by growth. We don't want to fix it by cutting you. We want to fix it by growing you. And there are a lot of ways to grow you. And a man from business will understand that a lot better than a cheater. In the Air Force Academy, who is an absolutely silly person. I'm sorry. You're a silly person, Cheryl. You cheated in the Air Force Academy. You got left behind for 258 days. You say because they couldn't find a plane for you. I say because they didn't trust you. And you want to come and debate it with me? I'll have you on. You come and explain to me, why do they keep you in the Air Force Academy for 258 days when your entire effing class cheated? And then your first explanation was, oh, I didn't graduate with my class because I didn't want to rat on my fellow cadets who were liars. So you're going to let us get cadets to go into the military who are effing liars because you weren't going to rat on them. That sounds more like New Jersey organized crime than it does like somebody I want for my military. But okay, we'll put that aside. So you're like an organized crime type New Jersey person, but you didn't even come from New Jersey. Where'd you pick that up? Somewhere watching The Sopranos? Or next thing, when you get caught saying, I was not allowed to graduate with my class because, let me try a female one. I wasn't allowed to graduate with my class because I wouldn't rat on my classmates. Next explanation, a week later. Oh, I told them everything they wanted to know, every single thing. Sweetheart, I got a problem here. It sounds like you ratted your class. Can you face it? Just face it. You're a goddamn piece of shit and get the hell out of the election, okay? You're just a goddamn piece of shit. Get out of the election. Go do something else. I don't know what you're going to do. Sell phony medicines or something, okay? They do a lot of that in New Jersey. Sell phony medicines and or let your husband support you. Oh, is this Cheryl? We talking about Cheryl here?
Yeah, she made a lot of money while in Congress.
Well, we got to look at your husband. He may have cheated too.
Yeah,
but I don't know if I want to tell you that. I got to I have not taken a look at your husband, but he was in the Air Force Academy too.
Same year?
I'm not sure, but they let a couple of hundred of these liars become military officers. Right. Should we throw them all out?
I mean,
shouldn't? Isn't the whole purpose of not lying in the academy being we're not going to create military officers a lot? And we have look, just because you're in the academy doesn't entitle you to be a military officer.
Right.
Isn't the whole reason to test you? So what do they fall apart when it turned out that 200 of them cheated? And therefore the whole damn system may be effed up? Which means they have to go back and figure it out. They're not educating our military officers correctly.
Bingo.
So please deliver a message to them. Vote against her. I'm telling you, I'm not even going to tell you all the benefits of Chidrelli. Fabulous businessman. You've seen what a businessman can do in Washington. Chidrelli will do that from New Jersey. I love New Jersey. I know I'm from New York. I make fun of New Jersey all the time. Half my friends are in New Jersey. I love New Jersey. You're New Yorkers. So if you can turn around, maybe we can turn around New York. We have an effect on each other. And if we can turn around New York, maybe we can turn you around. Okay? So get rid of this witch. Okay? Ted?
Yes, Mayor. We have some updates. We're trying, we've been in touch. We've invited a number of the candidates on to join us tonight post-debate. It does appear former Governor Andrew Cuomo is at the Knicks game. It must be their home opener.
Well, wait. How could it be the Knicks game if you just finished the...
Let's bring this picture up here. This is what we got here from Governor Cuomo.
Oh.
Yeah, I see him at the Knicks game. That's great. Is that Adams next door?
Eric Adams. So he's obviously courting Eric Adams.
Oh, yeah, that's good. That's good. I like that. But what's he doing at the Knicks game?
I have my questions, Mayor. Is that where you...
But what? No, I don't understand what happened. He finished the debate and he went to the Knicks game?
Yeah. Made it just in time for the second half. I guess New York One Studios must be down there, Midtown or downtown, Madison Square Garden.
Not everybody in New York roots for the Knicks. I mean, it's like, I do.
I mean, it's the Knicks or the Nets, and I don't think the Nets have too many fans. The Brooklyn Nets.
Yeah, but it's not like you show up at a Knicks game and you're going to produce 10 million votes.
Right. It's not like if you're in Green Bay, Wisconsin, you're running for mayor of Green Bay.
It's not the same thing.
Right. You go to a Packer game.
You could do it at a Yankee or Met game.
Okay. Oh, I see what you're saying. So even in New York,
Knicks are not the same thing because there's a lot of complexity with the Knicks.
Well, it might be the demographic.
I don't know. Okay. All right. But so he finished the debate and went to the Knicks game?
Yes.
Wow.
Okay. All right. Okay.
All right.
Curtis. What did Curtis do?
He went on, and I'm talking to his team. We'll see if he can hop on, but he's doing what I feel is the right thing, going on TV. I know he was on with Sean Hannity.
Good.
And I believe he's in the spin room. He was in the spin room the last time we heard from his team. And I've let them know we're still streaming. We're now in the 10 p.m. hour and we're still live. So if we get him in the next minute or so, we'll get on there. And I'm not even going to guess what Mamdani is up to at this time.
Well,
I mean, my goodness.
is there any? Is there any?
Thanking his foreign investors.
Is there
I
any?
cannot prove that.
Is there any analysis we can go to that will give us a summary of the debate, biased though it may be?
Right. Well, I'll see what we have from folks. We're reaching out to some folks. You know who I did reach out to is our friend at the Post, Carl Campanile, but he's too busy putting his post debate story together. He could not join us.
Oh, well, why does he tell us it's supposed to be?
Yeah, maybe we'll wait.
We can help him edit it.
Right?
We can help him edit it.
So we'll get full debate. Maybe we'll rewatch parts of it, and tomorrow night people can tune in for your.
Is there any particular part of it that they're pointing out that was critical or?
So a lot of folks are pointing out that they're questioning the strategy.
Good.
Of Curtis attacking Cuomo and Cuomo attacking Curtis.
Yeah, I don't get that strategy at all. That's stupid. It's completely defeatist and against anything I think makes sense. Can we hear any of it?
We will, some of the post debate?
Yeah. Some of the examples of how Curtis went after Cuomo or Cuomo went after Curtis when they should be going after Mamdani, because that's stupid. You got a common enemy, a communist, an Islamic terrorist wanting to be mayor of New York. That's a common enemy, no matter what you think of Cuomo or what you think of Curtis. And I would like to hear that, because I would like to hear who was more unrestrained and stupid.
Right.
So I should tell you that we are doing a great job going after Venezuelan and Colombian drug dealers. And the president of Colombia, a terrorist. The terrorist I know is a terrorist. Sometime I'll explain how. Is complaining. F them. Kill all of them that are bringing drugs into the United States. And what Hegseth and the president are doing, they're not declaring war against anyone. They're protecting the territorial integrity of the United States against merchandise that's introduced into it that can poison our people. That is perfectly within the expertise and the power of the United States military. They don't need anything else. They don't need any approval. Any approval will kind of be ratcheted down to help the drug dealers. Just wipe them the hell out. President Trump vowed to intervene against drug smugglers in Colombia. Why would you oppose that? What is wrong with you? What kind of sick person are you if you'd be opposed to trying to stop drug smugglers from Colombia? There are a few people who know Colombia better than I do. Not too many. I spent a lot of time in Colombia. I made a lot of money in Colombia. And I had tremendous success in Colombia, including electing for the second term of president of Colombia. I know Colombia from the time I was a child, 22, 23. I don't know if there's any country I can evaluate best, it's Colombia. What the president is doing right now is trying to root out a drug dealer who's running Colombia. Now, they had this once before, way back in 1989, I think it was. They killed all the judges on the Supreme Court of Colombia. The country of Colombia, which is a good, well-educated, very, very solid country, decided no more. You can't take out our entire Supreme Court. Well, they kind of snuck up on us. And they're back in control again. And a peace agreement that I supported has not worked to wipe them out completely. Now, I never thought the peace agreement would allow the FARC to come back into government. It never should have. Somehow it has. And the guy running Colombia is Gustavo Petro. It's about as close to being a recreation of them as possible. We have concluded he is head of an illegal drug organization. This is the prime minister of Colombia. And the president has declared the end of all aid to Colombia, cutting off Colombia and starving it to death. I agree completely for everything I know about Colombia. I know a lot about Colombia. I spent a lot of time there, I got awards from them for wiping out the cartels. And they were wiped out. And they're the reason why they're the reason why the Mexican cartels are so powerful, because at a point in time, they were destroyed. But now, with the the Mexican cartels growing, under them, they're growing again. Pete Hegseth described the Venezuelan and Colombian cartels as the Al-Qaeda of the Western Hemisphere. Colombia and Trinidad and Tobago say citizens of their countries have been killed in the strikes. Two crew members the U.S. said survived on airstrike, a Colombian and Ecuadorian, were to be repatriated to their country. Yeah, it's true. Yeah. Well, then don't get on the drug ships and we won't pull you out of the water. Okay. Well, I do not understand why Rand Paul is siding with the drug cartels. Somebody tell me why. I love Rand Paul. Oh. I do not understand why he's this America First thing and this non-interventionist thing can get to be a sickness if you don't let your mind operate freely. Every once in a while, it's not a bad idea to just relax. Stop with your ideology. If your ideology ruled the world, it would be perfect, because one of those ideologies would have done it. I learned a long time ago, no ideology rules the world. Stop. Think, Rand. Where the hell are you going? Jesus. On the side of the drug people? Because it's not America first? I don't even know how you define America first. America first is we don't pay attention to anything outside America because it might come and destroy us the next day. America first is we don't pay attention to the people who came and destroyed the World Trade Center because they're not Americans. What is this America First thing? I don't know. You could have picked a better title, since that was the title that Lindbergh picked for supporting the Nazis. So I really think you could have picked a better title, because your title is getting confusing to me. And I think I put America first. I don't think. I know I put America first my entire life. Half of it doesn't agree with you. What the hell are you doing? So, good news. In Bolivia, an important country right on the border of Colombia, which has been a menace to Colombia, when Colombia was straightening itself out, has elected Rodrigo Paz, who is a centrist and pro-American. That's to replace Evo Morales, another communist. Okay, we have victories and we have defeats. Let's work on that victory, right? Ted, do you have any idea why they are criticizing Trump for fixing the White House?
I mean, of course, right? Anything he does, I mean, you know the answer to it. I don't have to give it.
No, I don't.
But it's absurd. And
Ted, I don't have the complete answer to it. I really don't. I'm asking you.
it is as I think in this case, Mayor, it's as simple as what's been the motivation behind a lot of their criticism. Anything the president does, they feel they have to criticize, and they think they can take that imagery of the White House, you know, the side of the house,
especially Hillary,
in appearing to be in disarray because it's construction, and they anything they can use, right, as an additional attack on Trump. So they show those images of the White House.
So why?
We'll bring some up. Oh, we still got Madeline here.
Put Madeline. Madeline, tell me why he's paying. I think, isn't he paying for it himself?
He's paying for it himself. He has also donors that are also investing in it, and it's not any of the taxpayers' money. So even Hillary has even complained about it. That's rich, considering how much she took out of the White House when she left.
What, she complained about it?
Oh yes, she
Why?
complained. I read somewhere that she was complaining. It's
They're
been
not going to keep the little room where he was, where her husband was screwing everybody.
I guess not.
Apparently not.
Does she want that to be? I mean, I'd make a deal with her. I'd say, okay, Hillary, you want the little room where Bill was getting oral sex?
She was the desk.
We can have Bill Clinton's special room for oral sex from interns. You can have that, Hillary, because. But I want to warn you, people in the future, like years from now, may say, are you the reason? Or is Bill the reason? I don't know. It could create issues for you, Hillary. And I don't want those issues for you. I mean, you've been horribly treated by Bill, who, look, there's probably an exaggeration, but I am told that half the kids in Arkansas look like Bill Clinton. Is that true, Ted?
I've heard some of the same.
I've been there, and I
That's
agree
not
with you.
true. Do you think that's true?
Maybe.
No, it can't be half.
Response up on the screen, and Buzz Patterson, a friend of ours.
What's our response?
Hillary says it is not his house; it's your house, and he's destroying it. Buzz Patterson, a friend of ours, a commentator on X, says your husband had sex in the Oval Office. Probably should sit this one out.
Well, come on. Well, wait a second. Do you think? I want to ask this seriously.
Okay.
Nobody else would address. No one else has addressed this. I don't think. You tell me if they have.
Sure.
Do you think President Clinton was the only president to have sex in the Oval Office?
No.
You don't?
No.
That was very, very definitive. But well, you were almost as definitive.
Yeah. I mean,
Well, who else? Kennedy?
John F. Kennedy.
oh,
Well,
for
but
sure.
They used to say he used to go off He used to go off to the pool, take him upstairs when Jackie was gone. You think right in the Oval Office he would? You do.
Look, I think
Well,
some of these guys have some.
They're
respect.
younger than I got to get an older guy in here like me. Come on. Let's get it. You come up with that. I find this. I do not think. Pull a chair up.
All right.
Get him a chair. We're gonna take a short break. We have to take a short break. We've got to sell a few things, and we'll be right back. And then we'll conclude. Because we're having too interesting a conversation to stop here in soccer time.
Right.
Here we are, pretty much at the beginning of the process here at this pristine, I call it a laboratory. It's not like a factory, it's like a hospital. This is the beginning of the process for roasting. Deep grain, very good quality. Most people don't use this quality. We deal with small farmers because we like to know who we're dealing with. They give us the highest quality, all organic, non-GMO. You should know all Arabica beans, no Robusto, all Arabica. They're gonna go into the roaster and it'll get roasted for about 20 minutes or so. Oh my goodness, look at these. My goodness. You're going to want to specially order these. This is what goes into Rudy's coffee.
This is Rudy Giuliani back, and we're in soccer time, and I really have to pursue this question because it's bothered me for a very, very long time.
Yep.
Right? So, do you think that Bill Clinton was involved, like with all these? I mean, what was he doing in the White House?
Right. I
Ted, I'm going to have you talk first.
I believe that he was.
He's very careful.
Oh, well, I believe he was using his office and hooking up with women. I don't know how else to say it, right? Hooking up with women that were not his wife. You hear about it. I used to live in D.C. I heard from older guys that even back when Bill Clinton was governor of Arkansas, and he visited D.C. and he was a hound dog then. So
I got that from the lieutenant governor of Arkansas and several others. They used to joke around and say, half the kids here look like him.
Yeah. Well, Steve had a good one. Steve wants to share.
So, how does this matter? Does this matter that he was using the Oval Office as a pimp's recreation place?
Does it matter? It depends who you ask, because the American people didn't seem to mind because Bill Clinton won the impeachment.
Yeah, the American people didn't mind, but did it undermine his moral position?
If he ever had one.
In maintaining it, so it just deteriorated to nothing, which is what the communists wanted.
True, of course.
Communists wanted morality down to nothing, so we could bring Obama in that brought it into negative numbers.
Exactly. And Bill was so suave about it too.
Yeah, Bill made it acceptable to be a cheat, right? Mm-hmm. You're okay if you're a cheat. You cheat on your wife, perfectly all right. I mean, the joke is that half the kids in Arkansas look like Bill.
Well, he sure as hell educated Americans' children in a way that their parents probably were unhappy about.
Yeah. I don't think the American people will understand until 50 years from now the complexity of the Marxist takeover, which, and I'm not sure I completely saw it until 3 or 4 years ago. I know I didn't. I should have because I was a student of it. But this has been massive. It's every point of vulnerability on morality, family, religion, culture,
Yes.
history.
I understood it 10 years ago.
Civilization. Pull it out. Pull it
And
out.
unfortunately, it's still going on. It's not over yet. And it's Trump's biggest challenge.
Of course not. It's not going over yet.
No, look at the UK right now. Look at London.
Put that closer
I mean, London and the UK.
and talk up.
They're arresting people for comments, for agreeing on comments in on Facebook and Instagram. They're arresting people.
Yeah.
They're censoring them.
How much time do you spend in London?
Every other month.
So out of 12 months, you spend 5 or 6 months in London?
Correct. Not so much anymore.
Well, okay. So when was the
She's
last
gotta
time
be
you?
careful.
Of course you should. Don't do it anymore.
There's no more
My
free
advice.
speech.
Okay, my advice. But in any event, when was the last time you did that? Last year?
No, I was there 3 weeks ago.
Okay. So what's it? Tell the American people. I know. Tell the American people. And I love London. I love England. It's our history. Tell us what's going on there.
You can't even go out without fearing that you're going to get your phone robbed. You're not going to be able to. People are getting stabbed over their watches. A man got arrested, and a Jewish man who wears a Star of David for his entire life was walking past a protest in London and was arrested because he was wearing the Star of David during a protest pro-Palestine.
And they do this all over.
And they're doing it all over.
England, not just all up to particularly the West Coast.
The entire UK. Young police officers are now going into people's homes, old people's homes, arresting people, confiscating their phones. Actually, even an 8-year-old who commented on Facebook, they came to the house and confiscated her phone and wanted to have her mother take her down to what they call the station there and have her give her accountability or accounts on that.
So
that's Marxism right now, and it's happening in the UK. We're freedom of speech.
So how?
The land of the Magna Carta, right?
How do you stop this? How do you? Does this? Is this trend inevitable?
I don't think
or
so.
can it be stopped?
I think it can, but I think the United States is the key to it. And I think Donald Trump's administration is the key to it.
Because of his relationship with Starmer and Charles III?
Because the United States has to show the way. And Donald Trump is the person to do it.
Well, Mayor, we have a late guest joining us here momentarily. I believe he is still wrapping up with his supporters. Of course, that's the most important thing right now, so we understand.
Curtis?
But we're waiting to see him here. We see his.
I invited Andrew too.
Yep, Andrew was invited on. And we're still talking to him. We'll let him know if he wants to hop on. We are here, yes. Yes, we can hear you. There he is. We're putting him on right now, Mayor. Curtis Sliwa, fresh off the debate, which we haven't watched yet, but we'll get into
little pieces.
Serious. This is you. You were so people are.
Right? Can you guys hear us?
Want to speak to you. We just got to do this thing.
You're on.
This is the most difficult and complex part of a candidate's life, having gone through this right after a debate.
Mm.
You know something? When you walk out of a debate, you don't know how you did.
Right. So we got him on here. We're just waiting. I think he's talking to supporters.
It's all a question of how the public receives it.
All right. So there he is. He's getting this. They're getting the camera set up. It appears he is with his supporters here. Curtis. Hey, Curtis.
Oh, look, there he is. I see the beret. I see my friend Curtis.
Rudy, can you hear me?
I can hear you great. I saw a little of the debate, not a lot. You get a little more time this time?
Can you hear me, Rudy?
I can hear you great. I hear you fine.
this time they were fair. They gave all three of us equal time. And boy, I spun Zoran Mamdani like a top. He was speechless. First time. I was able to land punches on him.
Tell me the most important things you think you did. What'd you do that was the most important?
Yeah, no, I took Zoran Mamdani, and he wouldn't take positions. I wasn't going to let him just always answer affordability. And I crushed him on that Jewish question when I said, you're like the arsonist with anti-Semitism. You can't return as a firefighter because nobody believes you'll be able to put out the flames of anti-Semitism. They'll get worse for you.
Of course not.
And he was stunned. And then remember, Mr. Mayor, he said, oh, I would pick you for ranked choice voting. I said, don't glaze me. Oh, no. I don't like you either. He thought he could turn me around. No way. And Andrew Cuomo, who didn't even hang around to thank his supporters afterwards, which you know, Rudy, you've been in enough debates.
Of course.
He ran off to the Knicks
Yes.
and he's sitting with the mayor courtside instead of talking to his supporters, which is what you do when they come to a debate to support you, which is what I'm doing here and will be doing to the wee hours of the morning.
Do you think Andrew felt like he lost the debate? You think he felt like he lost the debate?
Yeah, Andrew Cuomo has not been campaigning. Rudy, the New York Post had it for 10 straight days. I observed you in 89. I saw you in 93 when you won, and you were out there round the clock. I remember even in that election, you beat Ruth Meshuggah Messenger in your second victory. We were on the flat top truck. We went through all the boroughs. We went bowling at 12 midnight right there in Flushing when they had the bowling alley open.
You got to keep
and
going.
We went out to a diner at 3 a.m. in Staten Island because you got to keep pressing flesh. You got to campaign. You got to be hungry. Andrew Cuomo, he needed Red Bull tonight. There was no energy left in his tank. And Zoran Mamdani was stumbling and fumbling. It's almost like I had him on the ropes, and he was doing what Muhammad Ali did
I'm
with
gonna
George
watch
Foreman,
it.
the rope-a-dope, just trying to hang on.
Well, I think these things deserve some. I'm going to watch it tomorrow completely. And if you would allow us to put you on tomorrow, we can have a really good discussion of it, okay? But congratulations, Curtis. A lot of people who called me said
Rudy,
you did it. A lot of people. I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you one other thing. I shouldn't tell you this because it's private. But a very important person told me you have an unbelievably complete understanding of the problems of New York City, much more than they ever thought. And I'll reveal tomorrow who said that, okay? But it's true, Curtis. And when I interviewed you, I got to understand, I love you. You're a close friend of mine forever. But you know, for me, the city and my country is more important than you or me. When I interviewed you the other day, you're ready to be mayor. You understand the issues. You spent the time to think about it. My God, it would be terrible.
Well, this, Rudy, should end all the talk about dropping out. I've won 2 debates in a row. And I got to tell the audience out there, the most loyal to me has been Rudy, loyal to Trump in his darkest hours when everybody else ran away, Chris Christie, Kellyanne Conway, after that Billy Bush tape was dropped. You had to go out and defend him on every talk station in the nation that weekend when even Previs, the speaker, even Vance, his vice presidential candidate Pence was telling him to drop out. You were the only one that said, no, don't drop out.
You're right.
Went on to beat Hillary in the next Hofstra debate, and then it was on to victory. Rudy, you are the most loyal person in the world.
Yep.
If you are going to be in trouble,
You want Rudy Giuliani in that foxhole with his son Andrew, with Ted, and with Dr. Maria. It doesn't get any better than
Oh,
that
no,
when
no,
it
no,
comes
no.
to loyalties.
I got to tell you. So I have a lot of questions, right? Dr. Maria, Ted, and Andrew. Boom.
Rudy, I remember.
If you want to know who's the most loyal to you, you just mentioned the three you just mentioned are like bulldogs. They're bulldogs. They're bulldogs.
I remember, Rudy, when you were in that situation where it looked like David Dinkins had come back to beat you a second time, and you got the call, and Ed Koch said, "You won, Rudy. You won." The votes came in from the precincts, and David Garth was celebrating. Everybody was celebrating. And then Ed Koch told you right there, "Rudy, pick up the phone, call David Dinkins, invite him for brunch the next day." And that was brilliant. And you did that, and you really saved the city because he did the honorable thing, David Dinkins. He met with you the next morning for brunch.
He did.
And
I mean,
enabled you to save the city.
Well, Curtis, we're going to listen to the whole debate tomorrow. If you have a chance tomorrow or the next night, we want to put you on. I know you're very busy. And God bless you, Curtis, and take care of yourself. There are a lot of bad people out there, Curtis. Be careful. You know that. I don't have to tell you that. You know what I'm telling you, right?
And Rudy,
you know what I'm telling
today,
you.
I said, bon voyage to WABC. What they did to you,
What did you call them? What did you call them? ABC?
What they did to me the first time
Curtis,
against
what did you call them?
Mateo and then Adams, and what they've done to me this time, I said I will never walk through those doors again. They took you out. They took Frank Morano out, and they thought they could take me out of this election cycle.
You see?
No.
Okay, I have to conclude, but I have to tell.
I won't walk into those studios because you're backstabbers there.
You see this guy right here? That's the kind of balls you need to be mayor. Okay. Thank you, Curtis.
Thank you. Thanks for your support, Mr.
God
Mayor.
bless
Talk to you
you.
tomorrow.
God bless you.
We'll be in touch. Thank
God
you,
bless you. God bless you. God bless you. Oh,
Hey, that's the man right there. That's the man with the
we have
plan.
a little thing over there. I go pray there every once in a while. You don't even have to show it if you don't want, but please give us a miracle. Come on, give us a miracle. God, New York needs a miracle. It's had a very hard time, dear God. And we're going to, I don't know, we have much else to cover, Ted. We've gone way over. Is there anything big here?
Your little setup there.
What did I miss here?
Bible, Mary.
What did I miss here?
Well,
Iran pulled out of the nuclear agreement. Who cares? China. Well, China, I told you about. They're looking to get married. They can't get married anymore. Also, their economy is, and you can't figure out how much because it goes down this much, and the rest of this is lying right here. So it goes down like this, but it's really here because this is really here because this is all lying. Boom. Okay, so we're kicking the shit out of there. People who are upset about the work on the White House. Look, I have a list here of all the work that's been done by other presidents on the White House that nobody cared about, and we paid for it. This is the first time we're not paying for it. Even Obama did he renovated the tennis court so he could have a basketball court. Okay, great. Clinton took the butler's pantry and converted it into a kitchen for family meals. Now, this is complete lying by the media. I think this is in the Wall Street Journal or the Post. What Clinton really did, is expand that little spot pantry right beyond the White House so he could screw interns.
Yep.
That's really what he did. So you want to tell the truth or you want to effing lie? So effing lie. So Jackie Kennedy put roses in the rose garden. I knew Jackie Kennedy. I love her. I love Jackie Kennedy. That's nice, right? Nobody got upset with her. She changed it all into a rose garden. Whole bunch of people. There are probably a whole bunch of some kind of crazy environmentalists who think roses are really bad, right?
Right.
Got to be. President Truman had to redo the entire interior of the White House because it was falling apart. But that's not a big thing. But he was tossed out, and he should have been because he had so many damn communists he was taking with him. Roosevelt added the East Wing of the White House for additional office space. Yeah, right. What's the movie and then the show? West Wing. How good is the East Wing? Thank you, Roosevelt. And also thanks for all the communists you brought into your administration and gave away Eastern Europe. Thank you. People of Poland love you. They love you because they spent like 2 generations of being tortured by the communists for being Catholics. All the rest of us Catholics really love you because you hated our religion, you son of a bitch. Thank you. You did win the war. I like that. And you liberated Europe, most of it, until you gave the rest of it to your friend, Uncle Joe, for which you have never paid a price. Eventually you will. And let's see, the other big changes in the White House were Theodore Roosevelt. I don't know what he did, but he made it nice. He brought about the famed West Wing. Oh, well, okay. The West Wing wouldn't have been a movie, a television thing if it wasn't a Teddy. He brought about the West Wing, which today houses the Oval Office. But at the time of this expansion, the temporary executive office, as it was then known, was an executive office building for the president's staff, though not Roosevelt himself, who had a workroom. I'm not sure I understand that completely, but and then the other big, of course, change was at the beginning when Hobon designed it for Washington. Washington never got a chance to live there because it wasn't open until 1801, 1801. It was built between 1792 and 1800. And what he's doing is he's building a great big ballroom because there isn't a great big ballroom at the White House. Mm-hmm. And isn't that a great idea? Of course it is. And it'll be beautiful. It'll be a great addition. And whether you're a Republican or a Democrat, since he's raising the money privately and he's keeping it off the completely demented debt that we've created in this country, why don't we applaud him for that? What are we're not going to like the design? He's a lot better on design than every Democrat that ever was born. Whether you like Trump or not, the one thing he's good on is design. His golf courses, about 8 of them, are the greatest in the world. If Scotland would give up its pride, it would acknowledge the fact that his golf course on the east coast of Scotland, the one he built himself, is by far the greatest golf course in the history of the world. This comes from me, independent golfer, nobody else. Then I give you 5 more that he fixed in Scotland, and they're a lot better than the Scots could do. I told Donald Trump once a long time ago before he ran for president. I don't know. I don't remember what the occasion was or why, but I just remember saying to him, maybe you should retire and just build golf courses because you're brilliant at it. Let the kids run everything else.
Mm-hmm.
I got to tell you, his golf courses, I'm a golfer. He got the best golf courses in Scotland. He takes the old courses that they had. It's an embarrassment. Will Scotland recognize it? I doubt it. Even the old Scottish courses that he took over, he's taken to an absolutely new level. But the one in Aberdeen he built himself, I got to tell you, to me, it's the greatest golf course I ever played my whole life. Okay.
The world will be glad he didn't retire.
What?
The world will be glad
Yes.
he didn't retire.
Well, when he retires, he can do the rest. I don't know. I was going to go through an explanation of Bolton and why my friend with the funny mustache that collects all that crap that comes out of his nose is being an absolute idiot. I don't get it. I really don't get it. But I have a basic major legal problem with him. So when he wrote his book, he says he submitted it for analysis before as to whether it contained classified or sensitive material. And he was told that a certain amount was okay and another amount wasn't. Okay, so the amount that was appeared in the book. So he complied with that. What happened to the amount that wasn't? Did he leave it in his computers? And is that what was hacked by China? Because if it was and he didn't destroy it, then he just handed him over material he was told was classified material that couldn't be published. In all of these articles, there's no answer to that. There's no answer to that. I would like an answer to that, please. When he published his book, he says very, very patriotically, I gave it to the government to look at. I don't know how much else he gave to the government or how much help he gave to the government. There were witnesses who say very little. But okay, we'll put that aside. The government decided, I think in an overlap between Trump and eventually Biden, that there was a portion of it that couldn't be published. That was taken out. Did that exist in his drive that was hacked by Iran? Or did he delete it? Or give it back, as he should have? Because if he didn't, he should go right straight to jail. That's so somebody got to answer that until we figure out, is this some kind of vindictive prosecution? Or is it a prosecution because this guy was completely irresponsible about the way he handled classified material? Also, there's no question he shared classified material with his wife and his daughter. Now, that to me is, it's real close to prosecutable. I sure would fire the guy. Probably want to punch him in the nose, but not be able to do it. I could tell you a story. One morning when I was U.S. attorney, I woke up half dazed. My wife shook me awake. She said, Rudy, the radio. You hear what's on the radio? I said, what's on the radio? She said, they say that Donald Manners just attempted to commit suicide right next to the Triborough Bridge, one of the bridges. I said, oh. Okay. So let me hear the rest. So they play the rest. Very calmly, I get up. I go to the shower. I take a shower. Meanwhile, they're saying, Donald Manners and was the Throgs Neck Bridge, was approaching the Throgs Neck Bridge when apparently he turned off on a part of the highway and slit his wrist. He was very quickly observed by two New York City highway patrol people who took him to the hospital, and he's now in critical condition. It is rumored that he did this because he's under investigation by the federal government, the Justice Department, and the United States Attorney in the Southern District of New York, Rudolph Giuliani. So I was sleeping when this came on. My wife heard it. My wife was the chief anchor on WPIX at the time. She woke me up. You hear that? You hear that? Is that true? I'm listening to it. I look at her, no expression. I said to her, excuse me, I got to go take a shower. I go take a shower. I get ready. Meanwhile, they say a lot more. She says, you son of a bitch, you never told me. That's the reason you were constantly gone during Christmas, right? That's the reason you were on the phone all Christmas at New Year's, and you wouldn't pay any attention to it. I looked at her and I said, I don't know. And I walked out. I don't know, we had a terrible divorce and everything else. I don't know if she'd tell the truth about it. But that's exactly what happened. I never told her a damn thing about it. For 5 weeks, I was pursuing him. For five weeks, we had Donald Manners all wrapped up in the case we eventually put people in jail for 20 years for. Also, in another case we never got to prosecute. And someday I'm going to explain to you why. Because that son of a bitch is still around. And that involved his paying off a judgeship. And the guy still has an unholy control on the New York State courts, which are completely corrupt in the 4 boroughs. But I came home that night, and she said, I can't believe you. You never told me? All the holiday weekend, you were leaving wherever we were, talking to somebody, probably the FBI. Why didn't you tell me? I said, honey, because you don't have a right to know. And she said, okay. I mean, she did. She got it because she was a patriot. She got it. She was annoyed at me at first, and then she got it. Her father was a military hero. She got it. That's what Americans are like. Okay, so we have to take a shot at the candidate in New Jersey, Cheryl.
Sure, we talked.
We did already. Please don't vote for her. Okay, please do not give us a liar from the Naval Academy as governor of the state that's probably 1, 2, or 3, or 4 in most peril in the country. New York, California, Illinois, little tiny New Jersey. And they have the resources to kind of make it. You don't. They just all pass by. They all pass by on the highway and they see all those smokestacks and all that. They think they don't realize what a beautiful state New Jersey is. You got a president from New Jersey now. Get rid of this crap like Murphy and this other one who 258 days left behind for graduation. And she won't release her records. I don't understand this. Why can't Pete Hegseth just put out her records? Are the records of the military academy private?
Look.
Why can't you just put them out?
Give her any more defenses.
Okay,
you
go
can
ahead.
make some sort of
Yeah, go ahead, make it.
argument. Well, no, you're gonna.
Well, make it so I can knock it down.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, I'm playing devil's advocate. This isn't my position.
Well, you can be devil's advocate because she
Mayor,
is the devil.
What about concerns that these records may be misused or weaponized in the future in a manner which may not be fair?
They may be. So I can't worry about that. I want to know the following. And I think I'm entitled to know it if I'm a voter in New Jersey. Did she cheat? Is she one of the cheaters, of which there were 200 or something or other on the exam? Number two, her first explanation contradicts her second explanation. So she's a liar. Her first explanation is, I was not allowed to graduate with my class because I wouldn't rat on my classmates, which means she knew they cheated and she wouldn't turn them in. And for that reason, they didn't let her graduate with her class. They let other people graduate with their class who cheated, but not her. And they held her behind for three-quarters of a year before they assigned her. So then, after she gets beaten up by Jack Corselli at the debate, she changes her explanation. She says, I didn't hold back from the military. I told them everything I knew, which means she turned in the people that she said she didn't rat on. Well, which is it?
Yeah, right.
I'm not a dope. Which is it? Did you rat on them or didn't you rat on them? And most importantly, sweetheart, did you cheat? Because it sure sounds like you did.
Sure does.
It sounds like you're a big goddamn liar. Oh, excuse me for the God part. It seems like you're a big damn liar. Now, we have a right to know. Number one, you're running for governor in New Jersey. Number two, these records don't belong to you. Why does she get to hide the records of the United States Naval Academy?
Right.
This isn't little Mary Jane's pickup school.
Right.
Why does she get to hide? This is to prepare officers to defend the United States of America. If there are a bunch of liars and cheats, throw them the hell out. By the way, it's quite clear somebody should investigate this because an awful lot of liars and cheats got into the United States Navy because they couldn't tolerate the numbers. And they shouldn't have. I don't care if we had a deficit that year. Every single one that cheated should have been thrown the hell out because maybe they won't cheat in the past. In the future, they shouldn't be allowed to cheat. They should really believe if the exam ended up being put online. A whole bunch of students, at least 88 who were found guilty, took the exam having taken advantage of the questions and answers. Probably had to be a lot more because a bunch of them effing lied. But in any event, 88. Not every one of them was stopped from going into the Navy, which is outrageous. Every single one of them who looked at that exam before they took it, out. Go do something else. Sell used cars. I don't know, or sell make-believe cars, or sell Elon Musk cars. But don't defend me and my children. God, I don't trust you. 88 of them, only 20-something of them were actually not allowed to go in. Now, what we really want to know is what did she do? She has given us a completely lying, contradictory explanation for it, which means she should be rejected as a candidate for the United States Senate because she's a liar. Her two explanations contradict each other. Explanation number one, I did not reveal the information about my classmates because I want to rat on them. And that's why they didn't allow me to graduate with my class. Okay. I doubt it, but that's the explanation. Explanation number two, a couple of weeks later. And here's what she said. Let me find the exact information. There were hundreds of people in my class that spoke to investigators. When I did, I told them what I knew. 8 days earlier, I didn't tell them what I knew to protect my classmates. 8 days later, explanation is I told them what I knew. Mickey Sherrill, you're a damn liar. You don't belong in the Senate. You're a disgrace to it. I don't know. Hard to be much more of a disgrace than the senator from Rhode Island, who was it Rhode Island or Connecticut, who claimed to fight in Vietnam when he didn't.
That was Blumenthal.
Yeah, I mean, he should just resign because he's an embarrassment. He degrades the United States senator. You're going to take it down even further. Because no matter what the explanation now, you lied. Either you didn't graduate your class because you didn't rat on your students, or you didn't graduate from your class because you ratted on your students and it wasn't enough. And then they kept you behind for 258 days to find you an airplane. Well, they didn't find you an airplane. Every one of your graduates says they were doing that to punish you. Why they took you is the reason why we need Pete Hegseth as the head of the Department of Defense. Because they had become a bunch of woke jackasses. Because you shouldn't be in the Navy ever, never, at all, like the United States Senate. You're not worthy of it. Please, New Jersey, rise to the level of being patriots. Send her a message. We don't accept liars and cheats and political, whatever you call them.
Right. Well, Mayor.
All right, Ted, we're near the end here.
We're entering hour 5.
I never got into, but I will tomorrow night when you come back. I'm going to do an analysis of Frank Sinatra as a classical singer. Because during the part of his career when he had his voice, there was a chance he could have hit a high C and been a really, really magnificent operatic singer. You have no idea the difference between Frank Sinatra's voice in the first part of his career. And then when we get into the second part of his career, which would be From Here to Eternity and Post, where he was a fabulous crooner and a fabulous popular singer, largely because of two things. He had an unbelievable understanding that a singer has to pronounce every word of the song because it's poetry, so you can hear it. And like Pavarotti, like Bocelli, like the greatest singers of all, Sinatra stands for pronouncing every single word. But part one of Sinatra and part two of Sinatra, two different voices. Part two of Sinatra, he was a crooner. He was a good baritone. He was okay. There were a lot better ones with terms of voice. There was no better one in terms of production, what he could do with the entire piece of music. Part one of Sinatra was a voice that could have been maybe a Bocelli. I'm going to show you that tomorrow night. He was there was capabilities of hitting a high C. Now, what you don't understand about Sinatra, because there's so much about the mafia part and everything else, all of which I know about. I'll tell you about that too. What you don't know about Sinatra is he had a magnificent voice until about 1948, 49, when something happened and he lost it. And that scene in The Godfather, when Johnny Fontaine, who is Frank Sinatra sort of, comes to The Godfather and says, I'm losing my voice. I got to get, this part is perfect for me. I think that's true. And that got him the part in From Here to Eternity, for which he got the Supporting Actor Award, and he went on to have a great acting career. He changed his style of singing, so it was still magnificently poetic and brilliantly arranged. And what you don't understand is that the man studied classical music when he was very young and understood it. And we're going to play some of those for you, like his rendition of the terrific soliloquy from Carousel. My boy Bill. Unbelievable. You can put that up against some of the great baritones, and it's better than what they did. And if you listen to this early group of tapes, you'll hear an Old Man River. I mean, we've heard tremendous bass voices sing it. You will never hear a better rendition of Old Man River than Frank Sinatra, when he had the complete voice and the understanding of classical music. So I'm not a big fan of Frank Sinatra socially, meaning the mafia stuff, as a good friend of Joe DiMaggio, a lot of complication. On the other hand, Frank Sinatra did a wonderful thing for my mother once. I'll tell you all about it. Wonderful thing for her mother.
Tomorrow, the art of the tease.
No, wonderful thing for her mother. We're going to do it over a period of time. It's a complex relationship. I think he was too close to the mafia. Way too close. On the other hand, he probably was by far and without any doubt the greatest popular singer of the 20th century, who contributed more to music than anybody. But we'll talk about that over the next couple of days, okay? So what do we got left? We covered a lot of stuff here, Ted.
We're past the 11 o'clock hour, entering hour number 5. Always, once in a while, we treat our audience to these marathon sessions. Tonight was a good night to do that with.
Tomorrow we'll give him a little Frank Sinatra music to keep him happy.
Right. Well, no, tonight was a fabulous show. I think we kept, we kept us.
Did you see that Trump had Bocelli and my friend Jules in the White House the other day?
Jules Nassau was there?
Yeah.
I didn't know Jules was there. Oh, we love
Son of a gun didn't invite me. I couldn't have gone because of my back, but he didn't invite me. Jules?
That is awesome. That is awesome.
I love Bocelli.
Didn't he sing for him in the Oval Office?
He sang for him. You know, he didn't sing. If I were there, I would have gotten him to sing Trump's favorite song, Nessun Dorma.
Yeah.
However, Trump doesn't like Nessun Dorma sung by anyone other than Pavarotti. So it could have been a very embarrassing moment, because you know how honest Trump is. And Trump could have said, "You're not as good at singing Nessun Dorma as Pavarotti." But he sang that great duet that he does with Sarah Brightman, and nobody is better at that than Bocelli.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Time to say goodbye.
Right. Every Saturday at
unbelievable. I mean, I don't care. It's not so much even with Nessun Dorma, it's the voice. You got to be able to hit that high C. And Bocelli can do it. Nobody could do it like Pavarotti. So this is not a knock on Bocelli. Caruso couldn't do it like Pavarotti. You name me Richard Tucker, the greatest tenors, couldn't do it like Pavarotti. He just had a natural ability to take what was a lyrical voice and project it like it was a dramatic voice. Very few people can do that, but okay. Anything else that we got to cover before we let our poor people go?
I think we're good. And we put a good.
Well, you come back tomorrow night and we'll catch up on all the things that other people aren't covering. And also how, I don't know, things are going both ways in South America. So we'll spend a little time. We did get a right winger. We did get a right winger elected. It looks like elected in Bolivia, Evo Morales' country, when I used to work for Colombia. So it's really weird. It's really, when I was there, Bolivia was like the problem because of Morales. And Colombia was our friend. Now we got a complete Marxist piece of shit in charge of Colombia. And we just got a really good president of Bolivia. And Paz, who just got elected, we should really support. The president should have him to the White House really quick and give him, like I'm doing with Ted here, a little pat on the back. And I mean, this is a real battle over. It's a real battle over South America. We got countries going one way, countries going the other way. President's got to get a little more involved in it. I think Marco is, meaning Rubio, because of his Cuban background and everything. He's got a real eye on South America. And I can't blame the president because there's so much going on in the Middle East and Ukraine. But I think there's a lot to be gained in South America. I know, but we'll talk about that next time, okay? All right. There's a lot to be gained in South America where it's like we have an open field. We can just run with it. Well, Ted, anything else?
I mean, there's always more, right?
I know.
Keep bringing it up and keeping us on air. We gotta.
My dear,
you're like the great starting pitcher, right? They never want to come out. Yeah. They never want to come out. We keep going to the mound and saying, "Hey."
I have a rotator cuff in my left arm. Did you know that?
I did know that.
I have broken back and a rotator cuff injury. This is why I couldn't look. Yankees would be there in the World Series if there are a couple of times I could have come in.
Oh, terrible.
I can only move it that far. I can't take. That hurt.
No bending, no twisting, no lift, no bending, no lifting, no twisting.
And I've been very good about that, right?
For the most part. For the most part. But you guys try telling Mayor Rudy Giuliani what to do. You tell me how that goes. See how that works out for you.
The back is doing well. The broken back is coming together. The rotator cuff here, I'll be ready. I'll be ready.
Pitchers and catchers.
Given how poorly the Yankees did, I may have a shot.
Well, we're going to show up. Where are they?
I'm going to show up. They're only over there in Tampa. We're going to show up with a whole group, and I'm going to start throwing. I'm going to start.
What number are you going to wear?
8.
Not 3. Well, that's retired.
Babe Ruth. Babe Ruth. I'm not Babe Ruth.
Sorry. What was Yogi Berra?
Oh.
Thank you.
He was 8. See, that was my mistake. I thought he was 3.
My greatest Yankee.
Yogi Berra, that jersey hung above your mantle.
Number 3 hung up over my mantle.
Oh.
No, number 8.
8, yeah.
No,
am I right? I might be right. That was the number 3 jersey.
Wait. We're all screwed up. Number 5 was over my mantle.
Okay.
Which is Joe DiMaggio.
Oh, okay.
Number 8 was in my heart. And all over the place, other than the 5, because of Yogi Berra. Yeah. Yogi Berra was my favorite Yankee, bar none. Despite the fact that I will concede that there was some that were better, might have included Mickey Mantle, but Yogi was my favorite Yankee because Yogi was like Derek Jeter. He was a guy that never let you down. When you needed a hit in a very tough spot, that son of a gun would figure out how to put it out of the ballpark, to put it down the left field line, the right field line. And this is supported by the best pitcher for the Brooklyn Dodgers at the time, Don Newcomb, who said, when asked, who was your biggest problem with the Yankees, Don, Mantle or DiMaggio? The little catcher. What little catcher? Yogi Berra. I couldn't throw anything to him. Everything I would bounce a ball on the plate, he hit a home run. That's one of the myths. I don't know if it's true. The myth is that twice he hit home runs from balls that were bounced on the plate and came up and he hit the home run. But you couldn't pitch around him unless he wanted you to. So let's say it was the 8th, 9th inning. There was a guy on second base. Getting a walk isn't going to mean a damn thing, right? 2 outs. Yogi, they throw him a ball way on the outside corner to walk him. He'd step across the plate. He hit it for a double. Yeah. That was Yogi.
Right. And he was a great philosopher.
He was a great philosopher, and he was a great catcher.
When you come to a fork in the road,
take it. He was a great philosopher, and also he was deceptively smart because he talked funny, but he was very smart. And Don Larson will say, and we'll conclude with this, never would have had a perfect game without Yogi Berra. He called every pitch. He knew, and plus, they had played the Dodgers 2,000 times. Yogi could look at a Dodger batter and know, I got a much better chance of getting Gil Hodges out on the left-hand side of the plate than on the right-hand side of the plate. But I can't keep throwing to the left-hand side of the plate because Gil Hodges is a Hall of Fame hitter, and he'll just figure it out. So I have to tempt him. I got to tempt him where he can hit, but put it a little out of that place and then finally get him on the outside. That's the stuff that Yogi could do that a great catcher can do. Because nobody ever realized how smart the guy was because he used to say stupid things. He had no idea how smart he was about baseball. I did because I really got to know him well. And the other guy who really understood him really, really well was Joe Garagiola, who really created the myth of Yogi Berra when he was on the Today Show. And said Yogi used to say this and Yogi used to say that. And about 3/4 of them Yogi did say, about 1/4 he made up. But they all were terrific. But what he didn't convey, maybe because he didn't want to, maybe he's a little jealous, I don't know, how smart Yogi was about baseball. He could be, he could be one of the 4 or 5 smartest people I ever talked to about baseball. So let's pray for the people of Ukraine. Time to stick it to Putin and get it over. I'm sorry. You want an isolationist? Go to some other station. I do not believe America First is about isolation. If there are enemies of my country abounding in the world or of my family, why would I go hide in my house? Is that America First or is that America defeated? So yes, of course, we shouldn't intervene when we don't want to. But I am tired of these pseudo-intellectuals doing this isolationist crap. I don't like the interventionist crap either. It's all about what do the circumstances dictate. God bless America. God bless Israel. God bless, of course, Ukraine, Iran, and the president, who has to make very, very difficult decisions. So he can't do them without you, God. God bless America.
Get a peace deal in the Middle East that all Americans, both sides of the aisle, are very proud of. But to meet that deal, both sides had to make concessions. Our president has stuck out his neck in many ways to make a peace deal for your war as well. What specific concessions are you willing to make to end this war with Russia? Will you give up joining NATO? Americans have foreign war fatigue, and our president, as he said, we need our tomahawks too.
To me?
Yes, you, President Zelensky.
Thank you very much.
That's some question. Right?
So many questions in one. Thank you very much for your question. First of all, I think we need to sit and speak. The second point, we need ceasefire. Even now, you see in the Middle East, it's very difficult to hold ceasefire. Everywhere, in every war, it's very difficult. We want peace. Putin doesn't want. That's why we need pressure on him. We will speak with President today what we need. We understand what we need to push Putin to negotiation table. And as I said previously, so we are ready to speak in any kind of format, bilateral, trilateral, doesn't matter. Matter just peace. This is important. And we don't speak about NATO or NATO. For Ukrainians, it's very important. Of course, it's our decisions of allies to decide where we are.
But are you willing to give
Yes,
up
but
joining
the
NATO?
most important thing for people in Ukraine, which are under each day's attacks, to have really strong security guarantees. NATO is the best, but weapon is very important. Allies on our side is very important, and between us, for us, bilateral security guarantees between me and President Trump is very important. I don't know, we didn't speak with details about it, but this is the most important document because the United States is very strong.
It's our purpose to bring to bear the principle of common sense and rational discussion to the issues of our day. America was created at a time of great turmoil, tremendous disagreements, anger, hatred. There was a book written in 1776 that guided much of the discipline of thinking that brought to us the discovery of our freedoms, of our God-given freedoms. It was Thomas Paine's Common Sense, written in 1776, one of the first American bestsellers, in which Thomas Paine explained, by rational principles, the reason why these small colonies felt the necessity to separate from the Kingdom of Great Britain and the King of England. He explained their inherent desire for liberty, for freedom, freedom of religion, freedom of speech, the ability to select the people who govern them. And he explained it in ways that were understandable to all the people, not just the elite. Because the desire for freedom is universal. The desire for freedom adheres in the human mind, and it is part of the human soul. This is exactly the time we should consult our history. Look at what we've done in the past and see if we can't use it to help us now. We understand that our founders created the greatest country in the history of the world, the greatest democracy, the freest country, a country that has taken more people out of poverty than any country ever. All of us are so fortunate to be Americans. But a great deal of the reason for America's constant ability to self-improve is because we're able to reason, we're able to talk,